All right, Clippers fans, welcome back to our intermission where we're going to be talking about some awesome music. We'll be with you guys in just a few minutes. We start exactly at 6 p.m. Pacific. Take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode of Let's Talk About Lyrics.
Yep.
I've got with me my buddy and friend, Mark.
That's me.
His name's Mark.
Yep.
Let's bring up the camera. Show people what we look like.
Same as last week.
I mean, I look better.
Handsome.
I got a haircut, dude.
You did.
Did you get a haircut?
I trimmed my beard.
I was going to notice your beard is not nearly as mighty as it used to be.
I look less homeless, if that's what you mean.
I don't think homelessness has beardliness. I think beardliness is manliness.
I'll tell you, my one of my exes, her dad was homeless, and so we went down to the homeless shelter, and I mean, there definitely is that, like unkempt beard, but a lot of them had kept beards too. So it is a bit of a stereotype.
Oh, that's fair. That's valid.
What's up, Raul?
What up, Dude, we got Jim in here. We got Raul. We got Raul. We got Wrath. We got Noah. We got Jor. We got Riley. Who am I missing? Who else is in here? Which one of you nerds is still in here that I didn't even recognize?
Ooh, can you post something in the Cardbox Academy Discord?
Yeah, sure. Oh, and we got Chris in here too. Chris, what up, homie?
Chris Redfield?
Chris Redfield.
Holy shit.
Shouldn't you be fighting zombies? Oh yeah,
My axe.
And my axe.
Hey, we got a sub.
Hey, what's up, Big Bear with the love? Thanks so much, dog. Appreciate you. All right, let's do this. Mark and Nico are live discussing the almanac right now.
Can you put it in the Cardbox Academy one too?
Yeah, I'm just doing mine.
You're a chief.
Also, I was talking to Alex Carter, your business partner.
Yeah.
And I was asking him if it would be cool if we could like do some promo for each other in each other's Discords, because like your reaction videos sometimes involve Kardashev content, so it'd be pretty important.
I think that's a great idea.
Which thread would you like me to use?
Just toss it in general. I don't fucking know.
General. Should I tag Steven?
Nah. I mean, if you want to.
Nah, it's okay. All right. Yo, Death Chicken's in the house with the mean. Can we get a mean mug, Mark?
Oh, sure. Is that what that's called?
That's Cardis Mark, but there it is. Oh, there it is. It's in real life. Look how angry you look. I love it. Oh, design your own logo. Apparently the web page has changed. Thanks. Appreciate it. Is it going to keep doing that? No, we're good. Okay. Okay, let's pull up the words we want to say to people.
Sure.
Aloud with my face. KardashevBand.com/the almanac. Why did I sound like Hermit the Frog?
I don't know. That's how you get good gutturals.
Yeah, you just got to talk down here.
Yeah, Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog here. I don't know. I know. Tell me to stop. Just say it. Just say you suck and stop doing it.
I would never say that.
Yeah, you would.
Nico.
What?
Nico has been working on his lows.
But I'm trying to taste the whole cake without even mixing the batter.
Sad. He's putting a frozen steak on the cast iron, as I like to say.
Jordan Peterson impression.
Yo, what's up, Kat? Good to see you. Hey.
Hey. Also, hey. Beyond Sun and Moon is some of the sickest lyrics I've ever seen on a song. I'll tell you what.
Well, we'll talk about them.
We are going to talk about them. And I think to kick this off, Mark, I think it would be super fun if you tried to read in the language you invented, Alinea. You think you remember how to say it?
Yeah, because the rules are simple on paper, but it is kind of hard to pronounce. You should put it on repeat because I'm not going to move fast enough.
Okay, I could do that.
And then we could talk a little bit about Alinea. I can tell y'all how it works. Technically, we can't really call it a full language because I think it's only like 150 words. I really just made words for what I needed.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have a question for you, and maybe everybody else shares this question. Why did you make your own language?
I thought it'd be dope.
That's the answer?
I mean, really. So I had, ever since I was a little kid, like 13, I was into this hobby called conlang, constructed languages, and I was never good at it. And it was like it's intense. Like there was a conlang Reddit, and all those people sound a million times more smarter than me. See, there's the problem.
Hey Kyle, thanks for the sub, dog.
But I think it was actually either your or Chris's idea, because you guys had known that I was into that, and I had made a couple like skeleton languages in high school, and either you or Chris was like, oh, it'd be cool if you just did that thing you already like to do for this project. And I was like, sure.
I do remember the discussion ever so vaguely, but I never knew why you decided like it would be a good idea for the album, and like how does it fit into our lore at all? Like who would speak Alinea?
It does fit into our lore, and should we go into all? Let's take it slow.
Take it slow. Hell yeah, baby.
So
I'm into it.
So I'll just where can we see the chat, by the way? Because if anybody's typing,
oh yeah, no, dude, I'm still trying to figure out the real estate of this thing.
It's okay.
Whatever. Let's start here. This is it. They're excited. Jim's excited. I'm excited too, Jim. About to hear Mark speak Alinea. Dude, it's been so. How long was the last time you actually tried to read this?
When we recorded it. When we tracked it. Okay, so a couple of things.
Here we go.
About Alinea. I specifically made it I tried to make it very easy to pronounce, or easy to ASMR Powerade mode.
Yeah, man, you gotta do it.
It's good. I specifically tried to make it overall very easy to pronounce. So very much like Spanish, each letter gets gets attention, right? There are some exceptions to that, but there aren't a lot of like SH, TH, CH, things like that going on, right? So if you see, you'll notice that there are a lot of vowel clusters of vowels here.
Yeah.
So in most languages and in phonetics, if you see two letters together, it will oftentimes create what's called I didn't name it, a diphthong.
I knew it was a diphthong. I was about to say that, but I didn't want to say thong.
Yeah.
I said it twice now.
Said it twice. Yeah. So like, for example, out, O-U-T, is ow, ow, and that's a combination of ah-oo, ow, right? Well, if you were to pronounce it as a speaker of Alinea, you'd call it oot, o-oot, but you don't hit that glottal stop each letter.
Oh. You just go, oh.
Yeah, so example, the second word is ondea, not ondi, not onde, ondea. And the next word, I'll read it, isn't una, ena, it's euna, zoumal. Another thing that you may notice is that some vowels are doubled. That serves a grammatical and a pronunciation purpose.
That's right.
So
like at the end of the first line, you say E-E-U-O-M-A-O.
Yeah, so I'll kind of describe to you how it works here, and then I'll just go ahead and read it. So the first two words are uoneandea. And
sick.
So uone is the word for distance. If you just say uone. So technically that's a great question. I'll get to that in a second because that's a really good question. So uone is the word for distance. If you lengthen the vowel at the beginning, uone, now you have the word for far. If you take it and add a glottal stop, uone, then it means short. So when you say uone, it's far, and andea is before. So that would, in this language, means a while back.
Yeah,
like,
long ago.
Like, yeah, if I wanted to, well, not necessarily long ago, but just an indistinct amount of time previous to this. So if I was going to say, like, a little while ago, when we were playing D&D, I'd be like, uoneandea, uoneandea.
Dude,
and
that's so sick.
So the Z, from their perspective, this is actually really interesting. So
who's there? Sorry.
The speakers of Alinea, right?
I'm just going to loop the
loop
intro just so it's because it's kind of quiet and ambient.
So we'll get more into who speaks Alinea as we talk about the lyrics. But one thing that's really interesting is people of different languages hear, what up, Vax? What up, Vax?
Yo, what up, Vax?
So one thing that's really interesting is not everybody hears language differently. Different people who speak different languages hear different things. So, for example, I can't remember what it is, but they did this really cool linguistic study in India, I think it was, and the speakers there didn't register a difference between the bilabial plosive non-voiced p and the voiced bilabial plosive b, right?
What?
Yeah, they didn't hear a difference. They just didn't register.
Huh.
Likewise, we would hear z and z as the same sound, but if you pay attention, they're different. So the D in zuomal is not silent. Z versus z, 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 z.
It's like an onset difference.
Yeah, z, z.
Is that why some people say February and other people say February?
That would be something totally different.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I was just guesstimating.
But I'll take my best guess. I'll take my best attempt at reading this as well as I can.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to restart the track, and then you can just let it loop a million times. No rush. Let's go for accuracy and thespianism.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Vax brings up a good point. Also, colors as well. Like, I think it's in Russia, they don't have different words for green and blue.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, a lot of different languages don't have words for colors the way that we do.
I wonder if that's the same for, like, musical subgenres. They just look at metal and they're like, hard rock. They don't have, like, death metal, swancore, atmospheric black gaze.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, culturally, it must be something, right?
All right, here we go.
All right. Everybody shut the fuck up.
I'm going to try my best.
Here we go, nerds.
Uoneandea, yeoeuna zoma, oenweja tueni onie okuoin zvauna, eomauk kiarina, dazatia, iva ia aujalodohue, yashvena suadia yash zeuna lojina, lualiashvenua funazian. Ie o pelo e eu shayen umlore ayen. Ie euna de judso zuin sare uejal. That was tough. Ithagian. Iva ueja paran ie o olwe. Dazatia sua ta teruzaim et zei. Oh man, this was the hardest part recording. Ua zei noi lea. Giadia uja ie o kuodzina. Soauem esh eithua ueila ie peinua dej goemaja. Suad aujal ie o aitiva. Iva nai zaio ie zeov.
Oh my gosh.
That was a struggle.
I'm going to give you a round of applause for that.
Thanks.
Can we get some Cardus marks in the chat, please? Super appreciate it. That
was
was so
rough.
sick.
So one thing you'll notice is that sometimes double vowels are at the end as well, and that serves a purpose as so iash is you and veana is no. So iash veana.
No as in no or no as in negative?
To know.
Oh, to know. Okay.
So if I say iash veana, I'm saying you know this. If I say iash veana, I'm like, don't you remember this? Didn't you know this? This is something you're aware of, right? It's not necessarily chastising, although it can be in the right context. So when he says, he's saying, don't you know that you can hold on to me? But if you translate it, he's not saying, don't you know? Serves the purpose of don't you know, even though it's translated literally just you know.
Well, okay, so it's kind of like it's like an inflection or a tone that's associated with saying you know.
Yeah, and I got the idea because I just think tonal languages are cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tonal languages are just neat.
There was a moment in there when you were reading. It was like the third line, the pelo e. It sounds very Portuguese.
I can see that because they have like a lot of pão queijo, like cheese bread.
Yo, Tanya with the 5 gifted. Thanks, dog. Super appreciate you.
And then the last thing is, so it also, the double letters at the beginning, it's important to understand that just signifies more. It doesn't necessarily make the word mean more of this, right? So for example, uone is distance, and that becomes far, but eushayen is hands versus just hand, which would be eushayen. And if you said eushayen, it'd be like a small hand.
So the double vowel at the beginning implies maybe like more than one, more than singular?
Yeah, it's how they handle plurality.
Oh my fuck.
And they also don't have I also
You just came up with all this shit. That's crazy, dude.
See, I would love to say I came up with it, but all of this is found in other languages.
No, I mean like you like put a bunch of garbage on the screen and you know how it all works is my point.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The only other thing to talk about is I thought it'd be cool if the group of people who speaks this language don't have a concept of ownership, because to them, everything is like temporarily together and then it's not. Like think about it, like if you lived, like all this stuff is yours, right? But when you die, it's going to go to somebody else. So they see it less as, they don't actually have a concept of owning. They just have a concept of close relationship. So it's in English it's I had a dream.
Yeah.
But literally translated it's ie o euna, I was with a dream.
Oh.
A dream, yeah. And the L at the end of zoma is the article. So if you were to say ie o euna zoma, it would be like it wouldn't actually make sense. I was with dreaming. I was with dream, but if you say ie o euna zoma mal, then it's I was with a specific dream.
What the shit?
So literally translated, it's far before I, past tense modifier with dream the.
How many words did you have to write to get this?
I think...
Because then, I mean, if you have a modifier system in place with like double vowel implies more than singular. Like you could just had to kind of come up with like a generic nouns, verbs, adjectives, articles list and then modify them accordingly, right?
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't remember the answer, but to that. But like I said, I pulled a lot from other languages. Like in a lot of Scandinavian languages, they don't have a word for like the same way that we do. They have a suffix that ends at the end.
Oh wait. Yeah, when I was learning Swedish, like I remember this concept, but I can't use any examples right now. But I do remember like seeing that and being like, oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Daniel highlights a message and says, I always tell you to get a nice haircut, but you always leave me on red. Well, here I am, baby. I got this just for you. I knew you were getting some upgrades in your life, and this is just one more.
Yeah. Looks good, though.
Oh, thanks, man.
Did your mom do that one?
Every time. Yep, she does it every time. But here's the thing. I was like, we're shooting a music video on Saturday. I gotta look at least a little bit better than I used to normally look. So
yeah, this
is where you start. This is the controllable look better. Then I'm going to put on a lot of makeup. I can't lose weight that fast, short of getting a ringworm. So...
A tapeworm.
A tapeworm. Oh, a ringworm. What's a ringworm?
A ringworm is it's actually not even a worm. It's a fungus, and it's on your skin.
Oh, that's gross. Either way, it's disgusting. Whatever. We don't do worms around here. Okay.
Yeah, we're shooting a music video for something.
Yeah. So we are shooting a music video for Snow Sleep, guys. This is something that we've had in the works for a while now, but we weren't able to like actually put into production because, one, we didn't know which song was going to be the favorite off the album. So we asked our Patreon and Discord community, and they said, hey, do Snow Sleep. That's the one we landed on. Mm-hmm. And then we actually have some really cool stuff. Our drummer right now is filming some footage with his family. Mm-hmm. And we have an actual director who's going to be directing the video for us this Saturday. He's worked with Holy Fawn in the past. That's how we met him, is that Alex introduced us and said, hey, this is the guy we've always worked with. Let's give him a shot. So we're going to be working with him. Yeah, and it's going to be sick. So Snow Sleep music video. It's going to be really cool, guys. Yeah, those of you who are on our Patreon, be on the lookout Saturday for some behind-the-scenes clips. Just check that out there. As you know, behind the scenes is always up there.
Where have you gone?
Okay, so enough of that. Yes, we all need new Holy Fawn. Oh, Alex is going to show that to me tomorrow. Fuck, he was supposed to show it to me last week. Whatever. Okay, so that's the Alinea translation.
What up, Sean?
But let's talk about... Yo, Shaunashev in the chat. Speaking of our drummer, there he is. What up, nerd? Shaunashev. So, Mark, you wrote this entire like dialogue in Alinea, and then you provided an English translation. But I have a question. Did you write it in English first and then translate it? Because that's how your brain operates, right? Like, you do you think in Alinea?
No.
Even sometimes, though. Like, do you say, like, man, that's far away? I wonder how I would say that in Alinea. Just when your brain's bored?
Not lately. I did for a while. So actually when I was writing this, because I wanted to think of how... So I wrote it kind of in both at the same time, and that sounds like really ambidextrous or whatever, but it's totally not. Like, thinking about the grammar that I created for Alinea and what it's capable of kind of informed what I wanted to write in English, and then that in turn would be like, oh, I don't have a rule for this in Alinea. How do prepositions work? Okay, well now I have to create prepositions. So it was kind of like it was kind of like, you know, I was browning my meat while I was creating my roux at the same time on the stove, you know.
What the fucking cooking
which
analogies,
you shouldn't do. If you're making a roux, it should be your entire focus, by the way. But still, I haven't burned a roux in a long time, but I have before. Anyway, Vax knows what I'm talking about. Vax likes to cook.
Oh, there you go.
But anyways, so should we talk about the English?
Yeah,
part?
Please do. Please, like, so you wrote the English part first. You went on to translate it into Alinea. Let's talk about what you wrote in English. You want to read it to us?
You've been reading it lately.
Yeah, I can read it. All right, let me make sure I scroll down for the viewership over here. The viewership of the rings. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
No, just me, huh? Okay, never mind. You said, I had a dream a while back. I was drowning, constantly folding back and forth in the ocean's darkness. But then the water spoke to me. Don't you know that you can hold me? You are made for that. I closed my eyes and clenched my fists, having no choice but to trust the depths. Suddenly I rose to the surface. Somehow I found myself sitting on a single stone in the endless glassy water. The sun set on each horizon. No way to tell east from west. I stepped into the rippling sea and walked toward the first star I saw.
So, just like with Peripety being written based on a lot of poems I wrote in college about mental health, the Almanac, not every song, but a good portion of the songs are just dreams that I've had. So I have really vivid dreams. Like my dreams, sometimes my dreams feel like more real than real life. I've only ever had 2 lucid dreams, but they were wild. And so sometimes I write down my dreams.
I'm so sorry. I keep doing that.
That's what I do. On the YouTube channel, I'm just like... but anyways, yeah, so this is basically just describing a dream I actually had. And I was like, this would be cool to work into the lore. And in the dream, I mean, I was just doing this. Although I added a couple things for this. So I wanted the concept of like being... So all the albums are prepositions.
All the songs are named after prepositions.
Exactly, that's something to say. So Between Sea and Sky, Besides Cliffs and Chasms, because the album is very much about having a sense of place. Having a sense of place and how important that is. And so I wanted to make this intro and outro kind of subvert the idea of having a sense of place. So like the sun setting on each horizon, well, which way is north, which way is south? You can't really tell if the sun's like going in both directions,
sure.
Right? And that's really the only thing I added. But I kind of wanted to open up by subverting the sense of place, because in this whole album, the whole album is essentially the story of Kent trying to find his place. If Mark took DMT, he'd probably been time. I would love to try DMT sometime.
Fucking Noah.
I would love to try DMT sometime.
Yeah, we've had offers to try it in the past with some musician buddies, and we've always kind of been like, I don't know if this is the right time. I don't know if I'm like in the right spot in my life right now.
Well, part of the reason like I would love to try it is because like I have definitely had some like, and it's really just dreams in your brain, I think. But I've had like crazy realistic dreams. I've had like serious like trance situations that that's a real thing, like scientific peer-reviewed stuff, where like
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you ever taken a substance and then hallucinated?
I have once. Yeah.
Oh. I'd love to hear about that sometime.
I have once. It's not that crazy, but like when we used to play live, I used to like have like serious trance states.
Yes, I remember doing that. I remember when we would play live, I would like get in this headspace, and that's where you become a fucking dervish and start doing your weird hand shit. Is you just kind of get in this flow of like creativity and emotion that just changes the way you act.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go off on a tangent. So
go off on a tangent. That's cool, man.
That's I guess not. I guess that's all there really is. But essentially, that's it. Like a lot of the almanac is just about having a sense of place and finding a sense of place. And for the people who saw our, I keep looking at the wrong camera. I forever will. For the people who saw our Excipio live stream.
Yeah.
We talked about this character that was found from a cell, created the Kilion and dipped out. The almanac takes place sort of at the same time as Excipio, as like the last half of Excipio.
Yeah.
And this album, the almanac, is a log of all of his travels through time and space.
Yeah. Although, just to be fair to the relativity of the relativity theory, this could be taking place at the same or before.
Yeah.
Because of the way this character can move through time space.
Yep.
So, anyways, okay. So that's tight. You wrote about this dream. You had decided to use it here in order to subvert the idea of having a place, a sense of place for this character who we keep revisiting in our albums.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to hear you read that. I did not expect it to go that smoothly. I think you only stumbled like twice. So that was sick.
I think it was more than that.
Nah, it wasn't more than that. All right. So that brings us to the nerdiest song. What?
Oh, also important.
Tell me.
If you want to read Alinea at home, for whatever reason, G is... So it's not dagoe, it's dagoe, and J is j, so aujal, and R is r, like in French. So luriayen, not luria, luriayen. That's all.
Oh my gosh.
Moving on.
You know what's kind of that reminds me? We actually had a key that we were giving people for a while.
Yeah.
Trying to like kind of like hype it up a little. I think it was on our Patreon and somewhere else.
Well, I think one thing that would be cool to do in Chapter of Atlas is include a dictionary in the back and like a grammar explanation.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
So I don't think they know. So just in case you guys don't know, Chapter of Atlas is the lore book that Mark has been writing, and I'm trying to like put the gas on a little bit now. This lore book kind of goes through and talks from... Well, I mean, you tell us about it.
Let's do this.
What?
Let's read a little bit of Chapter of Atlas at the end of the stream.
Oh, shit. Is it ready to go like that?
No, but I mean, if you're filming a movie, you can show them like a behind the scenes
thing.
So I can read you all the...
I'm cool with that.
If you stick around until the end of the stream, I'll read you guys the first couple pages of Chapter of Atlas. And it's not much, because it's written as like mythic poetry, so it's just like stanzas.
Oh my god. All right, I'm looking forward to this. I don't even think I've read it yet. Okay. Well, I guess we'll try to force ourselves into the end of the stream because I'm looking forward to that. So let's talk about the first song. on this album.
Yo, look at this. We got a raid. Jay Tesseract is raiding.
What's up, Jay?
Yo,
Jay Poststones with the love.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much, Jay. Appreciate you bringing here, man.
It. That's awesome.
Thanks for the raid, dude. We're just reviewing an album today, everybody. So
yeah. So anybody who's new, who's been hanging out, one thing we've been doing is we've been just deep diving into like the lore that we've created for our album. And I just got finished talking about the language that I created for this album. So if that's something that you are interested in doing, we welcome you, and we're happy to have you.
Yeah, if you guys use the command !website, it'll take you to our website, and then if you scroll down and click on the album The Almanac, we're currently in the lyrics section, and we're discussing the lyrics on screen, and we've got them here, and we're moving into the first song now. So thanks so much, everybody, for being here. Taniel with the Gifteds. Oh
awesome.
My gosh. Hey, Sean, you're officially a sub now. So you're gonna have a little icon next to you. Okay, well, let's get started then. So the first bit here, which I actually scrolled right past because I was so excited about the raid. There we go. Between Sea and Sky, the first bit, you start off by saying, "Still night, waiting, glassy waters, navigator." What's going on there?
So, the album that we wrote before this, Peripety. I guess this is an album. This isn't an album. I guess this is more of a demo or an EP.
It's an EP, yeah.
It's an EP. I'll never fucking know.
I don't know how it works either.
It was really complicated. Like, a lot of, like, really... I'm pouring my orange juice, my apple juice off frame. It was just really...
So that you don't see the Bud Light label.
There's no label. I don't care about labels, man.
Yo, man, it ain't about labels, dog.
The lyrics were really... As you know, they were very... At times, I think, convoluted, and so I wanted to kind of simplify things with this album because I wanted to simplify the character of Kent. Like, he's a super smart, super crazy, super intellectual person, so I thought having a simpler perspective would be interesting. So, it's literally just kind of an observation. Like, Kent is standing on the deck of this ship, and these are the things he's noticing. And the interesting thing is this whole album was created... All right, so I'm going to talk you up a little bit.
Oh, frick. Here we go.
So the whole concept of this album was created. This is actually the reason why we sing in Karnashev too. So I went on vacation with my at the time girlfriend. Now we're married, and we were gone for like 2 days. Well, really just one full day. A trip up. I think we went to Flagstaff. Up to Flagstaff, a day in Flagstaff, then back the next day. And anyways, Nico wrote Between Sea and Sky in that small amount of time. And the interesting thing is the version of Between Sea and Sky that you hear on the album is almost the exact same as the first draft.
Yeah, it's very, very similar. Actually, back in October, I posted all of the old... Sorry, guys, I keep talking about Patreon. I don't mean to, but one thing that I provide through that platform as like a bonus to everybody and a thank you to everybody is I show the demos that we work on as we develop music. I put the first one that I ever sent the band. I was like, hey guys, I wrote a song this weekend, check it out. And it sounds like almost the exact same. There's one breakdown that's garbage that's in there, but...
Well, and that's a really important thing that we'll talk to a little bit later, but this is one of the first songs that Nico wrote without anybody else's input during the process.
It's also true. Normally I write like riffage and composition, and then everybody helps me like figure out how to refine it and like redesign it. But this song was almost done on the first draft.
Yeah, it was almost done. And so essentially, yeah, it's that character Kent. He is standing on the edge of the boat, and he is kind of just looking out. And if you think about it, it's so different from any... It's like so different yet so similar. Like he was out in space, now he's looking out across the water. He was looking at emptiness. In a way, now he's still looking at emptiness. So it's like something that's familiar yet foreign at the same time. Yeah. Essentially. And I wrote these lyrics because the song sounded watery. Like just walking around. Like this song like sounds like water to me. And so when I was walking around, I didn't exactly have a plan for what I wanted to do, but I was just like pacing around. While Nico was writing, I was like, oh, still night waiting, glassy waters, astrolabe. And I was like, yeah, that really sounds
God dang.
That really sounds like, and then it just kind of built from there.
Look, Nightbot got sassy.
What did it do? Here's the link you press. Yes. Oh,
that's for you, nerds.
Dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so the song definitely reflects like a watery vibe, and that's also why we decided on buying the footage from Shutterstock about the waves.
Yeah.
I think there's a post on our Instagram when I wrote this song, and I was listening to that cascading guitar line at the beginning, where I like was like going through YouTube, like this makes me think of like waves crashing. I think of like the ebb and flow of water. You know how like when you go into like a wave pool or the ocean, for those of you who like live on the coast, like when you like are just in the water and it kind of makes you do this.
I think that's because it's the first time you really like dedicated to 6/8 as a time signature.
You think so?
Yeah, it's very waltzy. It's very.
Oh yeah, it totally is.
And I think that really gives that ebb and flow. Also, I just noticed we have 50 viewers, which is pretty good.
Oh, hi everybody.
And so I just want to say, I very much appreciate all of you. Don't feel like that means you have to stay the whole time, but having 50 is a good feeling in my heart. Aww. So I appreciate all you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out.
Isn't the whole song in 6/8? Like pretty much every, well.
There's a break that's in 4/4 because I suck, but yeah.
Yo, stop the 4/4 hate. 4/4 is fine.
Yo, it's the cis time signature. I hear that's what it's called, right?
All right, stop it, you.
Anyways, okay, so let's talk about these lyrics. So you say "Still night waiting, glassy waters, navigator." So you're taking on this theme of like being on a ship, sort of, and using what's an astrolabe.
So skill-based matchmaking in Warzone has me sad right now, so I guess I'll hang out for a bit. That's fair.
Oh, Big Bear, I'm sorry, dog.
Listen,
I quit that game for that reason.
The fact that you're playing Warzone is just a testament to either your self-hatred or your inner strength. I don't know. But so an astrolabe is an old tool basically used to chart direction by way of stars and celestial bodies and things like that. And I wanted to set the concept. I wanted to set the precedent that this was in the past. This was a long time ago. So obviously like a like
1700s, like clipper ships and stuff.
Older. That astrolabes have been around for a long time. In fact, in Chapter of Atlas, I placed this guy. I decided to place him in like ancient Rome. Astrolabes have been around for a long time.
Wow.
I mean, they figured out it was during like the height of like the ancient Egyptian empire is when they figured out the world was curved due to like two posts and a shadow. Oh. So they've known a lot. They've known about this for a long time.
Oh, I remember that. That was the one where he went like down to like Egypt, and then he was up somewhere else, and he's like, "Oh, right here, the shadow is directly above, so that's how I know the sun."
Something like that.
Yeah, I remember talking about. Okay.
But essentially, the reason I mentioned the astrolabe is because, as you know, I hate writing on the nose. I didn't want to be like. And then Kent says, "This is so long ago and different from what I'm used to." So just mentioning an astrolabe in a sci-fi setting is enough of a contrast to tell the listener, like, "Oh, I think we've went back in time."
Yeah, SJ, you're totally right, 1000%. Basically, just playing an instrument.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
Okay, so you're setting our time, our relative time, and then you say, "Move the waters, set the moon, come now, wind, take me to the planet's edge."
Yeah, so this is...
Is that a flat Earth reference?
No, it's not. Actually, when we released the album, somebody mentioned that there are two places in the album where it sounds like flat Earth references. We are not flat Earthers.
Nope, definitely not.
It's a sphere, y'all.
It's a sphere, y'all.
But so the reason I did Take Me to the Planet's Edge was to also set it back in time as well, because the planet being flat used to be an old idea.
Yeah, it's coming back, dude. They're having the Renaissance.
It's coming back.
The Renaissance of ignorance. Let's go.
So it's that, and I just wanted to, and also like if you've been out on a boat, it does look flat, like of course it does, right? And so that's basically Kent being frustrated for the first time in his life because he feels powerless, right? He's dependent on this old rickety boat that works with sails. There's no wind, so they're just kind of bobbing in the middle of the ocean, right?
Those of you who play Valheim feel this pain. I know.
You feel the pain. But yeah, essentially it's just him being frustrated that there's no movement. And his whole thing is travel. So if you're traveling and there's no movement, like that's kind of a lack of synergy, I guess you could say.
Okay. Yeah, no, I vibe with that. Well, it's a beautiful line. I think you performed it super duper well. Then you go on to say, "Cloud Sentinel, potential of action, taunting silver eye dead in the sky."
Right here. This is where it
happens.
Potential of action. So,
taunting silver eye dead.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
You got it. That's the right. You got it.
I'm so good at singing, guys. Hey, you're out. I'm kicking you out of the band. I can I'll do it all.
But so anyways, so this section is him noticing that the clouds are starting to move. So a sentinel is somebody who's like standing still guarding, right? And the clouds, since there's no wind, the clouds are standing still. So potential of action, I worded it that way because our muscles have something called action potential.
Yeah.
Right? The whole, like, I used to have it all memorized because I just thought it was cool, but basically, like, the energy signals being carried down through the nerves, and then potassium. That's why your muscles twitch if you need potassium. It's basically short-circuiting. So it's just kind of a cool sci-fi way of saying, like, something could happen.
That's cool.
Action potential of action.
I'm into that.
And then the moon is the taunting silver-eyed dead in the sky. So, like, the clouds are starting to move, and he's like, maybe we're going to go somewhere. Probably not.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Taunting silver-eyed dead in the sky. Wow, even the use of dead implies no movement.
Yeah.
There's like levels there. We got Beagle with a question. He says, how does Kent move around? Can he like teleport, or is he more human?
So it's never described, but I guess it's inferred that he has the ability to kind of like blink through time and space.
So being on the boat, though, that would be like kind of a moot point for him, wouldn't it?
I mean, it would be, but if you wanted to, yeah, as Nico Guitar Finger, we spelled it with a K.
Oh,
you're
look at
cool
that,
now.
dude! I have a new name, Nico with a K.
Thank you, Noah. I appreciate that you like the imagery. So like, I mean, imagine it this way. Like, think of it as if you really wanted to like clear your mind. So you went out to the woods to just camp by yourself for a month. You've got your phone. You could call anybody you want. You could get on Instagram. You could hop on Discord, but you're going to choose to keep it turned off so you can get the value of being unplugged.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of what he's doing. He's been the smartest, the top dog. He created the Kilyagon. People like loved or hated him, so he's like purposefully putting himself through this like very large character building exercise by traveling through time and space to these different locations, kind of quantum leaping. I was telling you about that show a while ago.
Yeah, we were talking about that. So it reminds me of Dr. Manhattan, how he just like puts himself on Mars to be like, I'm so done with this.
I've never seen it, but that seems like a good parallel.
Yeah, I mean, Watchmen was a great movie. Don't let me quote like the books or anything, please. I only saw the movie, and I've
heard it's a really good movie. I've never seen it, but
it's pretty good. A lot of blue dingus in there, but
I've heard it's got the peepees.
Yeah, it's got the poopies in it.
Hey, nothing wrong with peepee.
You got to meme it, Daniel. I get it, dog. I get it. Okay, so that's that bit. Then you say, this side of endlessness humbles me.
That's it.
He just is like stating a fact.
He's
like, man, I'm in the middle of nowhere, and it's kind of humbling.
So there's that, but it's also a preface to the next song, Beside Cliffs and Chasms. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like, have you ever like just kind of gone out into nature and like felt insanely small?
Oh yes.
You know.
Oh yes.
Remember when we took that drive back from Prescott and we were looking out over that valley, and we stopped at that little rest stop and we looked out over that valley and it's just like this huge empty space. That's when we saw the little town and we were like, let's drive down there.
Oh my god, and we spent an hour driving on a rickety dirt road.
Because I
remember that.
Why not, right?
Hey Daniel, we'll see you later, dog.
Daniel.
Thanks for all the gifted, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you. And it's essentially that feeling, and he gets another dose of that feeling, a bigger dose of that feeling in the next song. But that's like a really crazy feeling. Like if you ever have time to just like go out into the woods or go out onto the ocean or something, it's really kind of nuts to go from like this room where we literally can make the temperature like bend to our wishes, and then going out there and being like, a wolf could literally do whatever it wanted with me right now.
Hey.
Like it literally could. And that's kind of what he's experiencing. Like the vastness of the ocean doesn't care how smart you are, doesn't care how hot shit you are. Like if you're gonna drown, you're gonna drown. That's it. And it's just kind of like there as a part of it. And he's kind of like feeling that as well.
Wow. Okay. So he then goes on to say, internal, external, all that I knew has since drowned in the waves. This is kind of like a coming to knowledge sort of thing, it seems like. Why internal, external?
It just felt right, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Thinking like Mother Nature is no stranger to yo, so that's the thing.
Damn, Jim, hitting on the head.
So Jim, little side conversation for you. So for a while, when I was up in Flagstaff, I was very into like neo-paganism and Wicca and like stuff like that.
Yep.
Cheers to you, Beagle. And I thought it was a great time. I loved it. I had a great time hanging with the pagans, right? But one thing that never jived with me is they're like, oh, Mother Nature is so loving, and I was like, she fucking is not. like what are you talking about? Like you go out there without like water, Mother Nature's not going to be like, oh, let me bless you. It's going to be like, you should have brought you dumb idiot, you should have brought some fucking water, and you're going to die.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason, like, I was like, y'all keep doing your thing, I'm gonna dip out, because I was just like, yo, like, sure, Mother Nature will be like, here's some corn, but then it'll also be like, have cholera. You know? Oh, dude, I've got some cool Beltane stories. I've totally like done like the jumping over a fire, wearing a mask, and people were naked. It was great.
What an experience.
Great time. But anyways, that's not relevant to this, but I get what you're saying. She's always nagging humanity. I know, right?
I know, right? Just like bagging on me and all that.
But yeah, that's essentially it. Okay.
Okay, the next one here is a little bit longer. You say, creation, visualization, sinking down into the dark, crystalline filigree. Oh, I get that reference. 1,000 fathoms, a lifetime ago.
So this is where I wanted to, tie it back to previous albums. So there's actually a lot of reflection here. So in the song The Kiliagon, some of the opening lines are, creation without a true visualization, 1,000 new worlds.
Yeah.
So creation and visualization is a reference to the song The Kiliagon on Excipio.
Okay.
Crystalline filigree is a reference to potentiality, and that's the Dyson station.
Wow.
And if you actually do the math, 1,000 fathoms is not that deep.
Okay.
I think a fathom is 12 feet or something.
I don't know.
So 1,200 feet in like the vastness of the ocean isn't that deep.
Chat, can we get a Google on that, please?
Yeah. How big is 1,000 fathoms? But sorry, I'm so burpy.
No, burp it up, dude.
I had Burger King. So
oh, you did?
It was good.
Tight.
But essentially, that's me putting into Kent's voice a lot of references to the 6 feet. Oh, I was totally wrong.
That's a little over a mile.
6 feet is 1 fathom. 6 feet is 1 fathom.
So you did 1,000. That's over 6,000 feet.
Okay, that's pretty deep, but still.
A little over a mile. Oh, Jim, with the math, my dog. What
nice.
up, dude? Look at Big Bear and Beagle coming in. Vax.
Y'all are.
I appreciate all you dudes doing the due diligence on that. We should have done the math ourselves. We suck.
Fuck it. We did all the bad math in Excipio. The math that, like, if you double checked it is probably wrong. We did
yeah, don't do the math on Excipio. Just don't worry about that.
Don't do it. But essentially, this is him, and I wanted the reflection not to be like fucking stupid fan service. Which, first of all, there's no fan service here because by the time we released this, like we're still relatively small. But like when you're watching like a Star Trek thing, like the new Star Trek movies, and everybody in the crowd is like waiting for Scotty to say, "I'm giving her all she's got, Captain," and then he says it, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" Like I did not want it to be that. So these references are his memory. He's remembering the creation. Oh. He's remembering the Kiliagon. He's remembering the Dyson station, and it feels like it was a lifetime ago. So I was like, let's make this work.
Okay, hold on. I want to make this the way that I think it works. Creation, visualization, sinking down into the dark. I think sinking down into the dark is him like moving through space-time back towards the planet and not realizing that he's moving backwards in time to the point where astrolabes were used predominantly for like sea travel. And so when he gets there, he has left the crystalline filigree 1,000 fathoms, and that felt like a lifetime ago. There you go.
I dig it.
That's cool. I love dude, you guys, I did this thing recently, and I'm gonna talk myself up because it was exciting. And it's not because it's like actual Kardashev stuff, but I wrote fan fiction about Kardashev.
This motherfucker, we're sitting in Filiberto's, and he's like, yo, somebody wrote fan fiction.
I didn't want to say it was
me. I was like, somebody wrote Kardashev fan fiction? What? And I was like, dude, is it like,
I'm so embarrassed
is it like
right
furry
now.
Gay fan fiction between me and Sean? And he's like, no, but yeah, look, Noah's like sexual fanfic, and dude, I was like, dude,
everybody, man,
that'd be crazy if there was like gay furry Kardashev fan. I would love it. I'd be so into it.
Dear the FBI, I'm sorry.
Just like me as like a wolf. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, all right.
It would be hilarious, dude.
Talk about blue peepees again. Two bears walk into a Dyson station. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. And then a baby otter goes, oh, look at these ones.
See, so here's the thing. I've been told I'm a bear before, but I've also been told I'm like one below a bear. I don't know.
I don't know whatever that. I don't know the gay scale.
There are different. There's bears.
Well, like there's the Kardashev scale, and then there's the how fluffy or not hairy you are scale.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about. See the Warhammer Chev. Okay, we are otters, space wolves. All right, we need to let's get back on this because the VOD is going to get flagged on YouTube, and I need those creds. Okay. After that giant ass stanza, you then say, "Move me forward now." Is he talking to the wind? Also, why is forward spelled differently?
Because you typed it in wrong.
Wow, dude.
Or I typed it wrong and then you copy and pasted it.
What? But look at these crazy spellings. For without an E but an A. For with an E but with an O instead of an A.
I think that's like the second one is like the forward in a book.
Move me forward. Okay, well, you guys.
Yo, read me the prologue.
Yo, what's the prologue, dude?
Yeah, that's just a typo.
Ooh, or whatever the fuck. That's the prologue.
Noah says, next time you guys pass through Palm Springs, I'm sure I have some friends that can enlighten you. Yeah.
Oh, great. No, I mean, I just hope they don't enlighten me, like, in their bedroom. Like, they can enlighten me around, like, beers and, like, company, but...
Hey, maybe sparks will fly.
Yeah, they probably... I don't know.
They could.
It's possible. Yeah. Netflix and chill with otters. I'm cool with that. Sign me up, dog.
Yep.
Move me forward now. You're talking about the boat, right?
Like...
Jesus, we're so far off subject.
No, you're good. So, like... Have you ever been late to work and you're in the car and you're looking at the stoplight and you're like, turn fucking green?
No.
It's the same thing for all of us normal people. It's just the same type of speech. Or, I know one.
What?
You're on the computer and you're clicking the back button and you're not going and you go, this one. This is a very Nico gesture.
Oh my God, here we go.
Hand on the desk. Like, my leg is the desk. Hand on the desk. Come on. Oh, seriously? Click, 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 click.
I can't help it. I'm Italian.
Like, you're talking to the back button.
Watch your chords there.
Like, you're talking... Obviously, you don't think the back button hears you, but you're like, dude, come on, computer. Do the thing.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
So that's why he's saying, move me forward now. And then you finish out the song. And you say, come now, wind, take me to the planet's edge. But it's like the mightiest ending of a song ever.
Yeah, and really the whole thing's about a guy being pissed off because the boat won't move.
God, dude, you just took the wind out of my sail.
I mean, that's the thing, though. All these songs I wanted to make about simple stuff. So, like... I do a lot of like reflection to other albums and things, but essentially the song is just about somebody being frustrated that the boat won't move.
All right,
because for him that was a big experience. He never went through that.
God damn it! All right, it's canon. It's canon. I can't tell you what I think about it now because I just have to love it.
You just gotta love it.
Just gotta love it, baby.
All right, this is a really long song, and I kind of have to pee.
Go get that pee. We're gonna take a BRB.
Like 3 minutes.
We'll be back, nerds. Please don't go anywhere. But if you gotta go somewhere, that's totally cool.
Totally cool. This song's got some cool stuff, so you should stick around.
Yeah, BRBZ. Yo, Beagle, we'll see you later, my dude. Enjoy your VOD. Enjoy climbing. and thanks for hanging out. We back. We out here. Oh, I got to do it manually. I don't have a button set up for the lyric discussion thing, so I have to like switch to the other computer and do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of a bum.
Sorry, guys. I had to pee and get more apple juice.
Yep.
This is my... So, for any of you that know me, I am insanely busy. So Thursdays are my time to come and chill and relax and hang out. So it's definitely my apple juice time.
Yeah, dude. Get your vibes, my guy. No one's going to judge you here. I mean, they're going to judge you, but I'm not going to judge you. Okay. So before the intermission, we were talking about how we were going to start Song 2, which is Beside Cliffs and Chasms.
Oh, dude. This is one of the most fun songs to perform.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've never seen you perform this.
We did it in the practice studio a couple times.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot we used to practice like crazy at the studio. I'm such an idiot. I've seen you do every song, no duh. But you know what it makes me think of though is like my memories. The strongest performance I remember is you out in the woods doing, what was it, Beyond Sun and Moon?
Yeah, that was a crazy day.
That's like the only one that my brain remembers until you're like, Nico, we practiced in a studio for like 2 years. And I was like, shit, I totally forgot. Oh, man, that's wild.
I'm Googling something relevant to what we're going to talk about. I
don't give a shit, bro. I'm just glad you're here hanging out with us.
Thanks, man.
I think everybody else likes seeing you too, man.
I like seeing all of you.
It's always my ugly face on here, dressed up in Viking attire and everything like that. And I don't know if you guys can see right behind Mark's head over here. I want to point to it. I got a new helmet for the Valheim streams. It's going to be sick. It's bronze. It's kind of bronze. Yeah, it looks like it's cast out of like bronze or something. It's pretty tight. I'm excited to wear it and try it out. Ooh, la da ba. You hear that voice break? That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so Beside Cliffs and Chasms. Again, a preposition comes after between sea and sky. Let's see what this is about. You begin by saying, the view given to me is vast, seemingly infinite. If there is an end, I do not know it. There is no curve of earth. There it is. There's the flat earther reference number 2.
I didn't think about it at the time.
Hey, that's a great... Excuse me. Death Chicken, that's a great question. I can get one to you. We actually have a wallpaper pack that's free on our website. You can go grab that. It has a bunch of Bearing of Shadows artwork and some other stuff. I will make sure to do the Almanac artworks in there for you as well. You might be able to grab one of the high-res images off of our website. ! Website will get you there.
So this is based on another dream I had, and I'm seeing if I can find...
You went to your own records to find it? That's funny.
Johnson a giant. Oh, yeah. Tick marks, nuance. So this is based on a dream I had as well that I repurposed for the album. And I'm trying to see if I can find it so I can read you guys the original. If not,
can you search in Page for a keyword on there?
Is
that an option?
I don't know if it'll search the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not it.
Son of a gun. Well,
we'll give up if we can't find it, but
yeah, I mean, take a minute. So basically, you repurposed a poem that you wrote a while back
about a dream I had. Yeah,
about another dream. So is the Almanac Mark's dreams?
No, I wouldn't go that far, but I definitely did take a lot of inspiration from dreams that I've had. Just because, like I said, I have really vivid dreams, and they're really cool. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give up on this.
Are you able to remember your dreams when you wake up?
Always.
Always?
Almost always, yeah.
Lucky, dude. I can't remember anything when I wake up.
They're nuts. All right, so let's just move on.
Okay. So it's a repurposed dream. And everything up to there is no curve of earth. What's going on here in the dream?
So the view given to me is vast, seemingly infinite. If there is an end, I do not know it. That's actually the best place to stop.
Okay.
So essentially, I had this dream a while back.
Oh boy.
And in the dream, basically, I was just on this massive alien planet that was made of nothing but stone. Like, no life, nothing. And it was very, like, porous, volcanic stone. And in that dream, like, it just, like, kicked me in the chest. Because it was, like, gravity was really, like, it was a huge planet, so there was, like, a lot more gravitational pull. And in that dream, it was just, like, crazy to be on such a huge space up on this cliff looking down. And just having that sense of smallness. So the view given to me is vast, seemingly infinite. If there is an end, I do not know it. It's just like massive. It's just being like hit with the sense of mass. Just things are massive.
That's okay. So kind of going back to the other one where Kent was talking about how vast the ocean is. Now it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Sort of restating that. Okay, so then you say there is no curve of Earth, just the unending axis that crosses the cradle where cardinals are born and the last frost of winter makes way for the first rose to grow. What the hell does any of that mean?
Well, I'll tell you.
Good.
So in this part of the album, I thought it'd be cool, like, if there was a place in the universe that was the absolute center.
Yeah.
Which, as far as we know, I don't think there could be. But if there's something that's in the center of direction, this is a repurpose from a poem I wrote a long time ago. But if there is something that's in the center of direction, he's there. And so a long time ago, you know, on a map, they have north, south, east, west, the little drawing.
Yeah.
Well, they used to call that a cardinal rose. And so I wanted to talk about the center of direction, but I didn't want to be like, he's in the center of direction. So I wanted to say he's in the center of a cardinal rose symbolically. So the unending axis that crosses the cradle where cardinals are born and the last frost of winter makes way for the first rose to grow, cardinal rose. I'm talking about him basically being not outside of direction, but in the place where all directions intersect. Obviously, this is very allegorical and symbolic.
Of course.
Because like that doesn't really make sense.
I mean, we know how you write at this point. I mean, this is our fourth album we're discussing.
But that's the idea. Vax says, I've never had a normal dream. Went 10 years not having a single dream. If you never dreamed, you'd actually be dead. But I feel ya. Well, write those nightmares down. Write those nightmares down because you can learn a lot. You can learn about, like, so your subconscious mind will, like, your subconscious mind will hang on to things, right? And basically when you're sleeping, your mind is defragging like a computer. And so if there are, like, a lot of recurring themes and stuff like that, it actually can... Now, I'm not big into dream interpretation in, like, the mystical sense, but there is some psychological backing for, like, obsession and recurring themes and things. So those nightmares, face them, write them down. You'll learn a lot.
Face the dragon in his cave.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a very poetic way to say compass.
Yeah.
Kinda, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, hands on the edge of the cliff, stone texture awake, great depths of land whisper. What? Stone texture awake? What's going on there?
So, I kind of wanted to talk about, in this section, I kind of wanted to talk about a couple things. So, the stone texture with the dash is a very specific thing. So, in Norse mythology, or in Norse poetic writing, like what you have in, like, the Poetic Edda, the Prose Edda, they have something called a kenning. And a kenning is basically, it's not a couplet, but it's basically like two words used symbolically to reference something else. So instead of saying ocean, say whale road. In the mythology, they called a couple times they called the ocean the whale road. Instead of saying sun, say sky candle. Instead of saying Odin, say, like, you know, war father, right? And so I used a kenning there rather than to talk about a physical thing, to talk about a feeling. Like if you've ever held volcanic stone, and it's just like it's a very high definition feeling.
That's an interesting way to say it.
Right? Like it's very like it's not like touching like a soft like blanket. It's like every texture of that stone demands your attention on its hand, right? And so stone texture awake, great depths of land whisper. Have you ever had this experience? A lot of people I've talked to have, and a lot of people I've talked to haven't. You're just hanging out in your normal life, and then all of a sudden, like, existence is HD.
Yeah.
You're just like, holy shit, this desk is like a physical object, and this microphone's real.
Yeah.
And I'm literally just reading emails. Oh my god, you haven't taken any substances, but everything is just hyper real.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok recently where a guy says, "You ever driving and all of a sudden ... and then he just goes, he's like, you realize you're driving, and I'm like, oh my god, I've done that.
Yeah, no, that's such a good example. And so it's that. Like, he's on this cliff, he's kind of like, you know, prone, looking over the edge, and everything is just insanely real. Insanely real to him. That's all.
Okay, that's crazy. Also, Vax, it's a damn shame you can't hit REM, dude. That's the worst. But also, I would be interested to know what some of those descriptions of your nightmares are. Not trying to pry or anything, but it just fascinates me that you can remember them. Okay, Mark. So while you get some more apple juice, it says here...
Apple juice, half price.
Apple juice, half price. You say here, here I stand as a stranger, yet each crack in the earth I have seen here before. Hear me, fluttering winds, take back the breaths that I am made of. How has he seen him before?
So
yeah, he's a stranger.
So essentially, he's like perplexed by this place he's never been. He's perplexed by this place that's new to him. It's the least amount of life that he's ever seen, and yet everything's familiar. Like, remember when we went to England?
Yeah.
We went to the UK, and it's like everything was different, but it's all the same shit.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, this is just another place that looks similar but has differences.
Yeah, it's like every time I've ever traveled to another country, it's incredibly foreign, but it's also incredibly familiar. And so that's like, there's no way I can say that Rome is like Phoenix, but all the things that make Phoenix existed in Rome. And many of the things, minus the history, that existed in Rome were in restaurants, people talking, streets, roads.
A lot of cigarettes.
Let's talk about those cigarettes in Rome.
God dang.
When I went to Italy, I just lost my voice for fucking a week because people just everywhere smoked. I loved Italy. Italy and France are my two favorite countries I've ever been to. But like, y'all, ease up.
Ease up on them
Just
ciggies.
ease up. It's insane. But anyways, yeah, that's essentially it.
That's pretty cool. Now, this line, I always think melodically. I'm going to tell you this. This is my you can't unhear it moment. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You can't unhear this. When I hear the chords and the melody come through and you say, I cannot see more, yet I can see clearly, all I hear is, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Every single time. But you say, I cannot see more, yet I can see clearly. All things that I have lost, I can now find again.
So there are a couple writers that I pulled inspiration from. They're both Islamic writers. One is Rumi, who's way back in the day, and another is Khalil Gibran, who is much more recent. And I can't remember what I repurposed it from. Not really most of them myself, of course, but just like enjoying reading a lot of things. Like some of the best love poetry you've ever read in your life was written by Rumi and Khalil Gibran. But essentially, there's like this phrase, this like proverb, I guess. Nothing that has been lost cannot be found again, is essentially what it was. And it's just like life advice. And I remember being like, damn, that's like really beautiful actually, because so much of like our anxiety and depression and stuff is feeling like something that is supposed to be present is not. Capability, anything. And so it's just a repurpose of that. Like, oh, like, this isn't an endpoint. All these things that this character Kent is looking for, he can find. All these things that he's set out to find, he can find. He doesn't know where they are. They don't know what they'll be. And it's self-actualization is what he's looking for. But he can find these things. They exist. And so I can't remember what it is. That's what I was. That's another thing I was trying to look up. But it's been a long time since I read those books. But Khalil Gibran and Rumi. Yeah. Huh. I think Rumi was Sufi, and that's a different thing, and I'm not an expert, so I couldn't tell you how it's different, but it's different. Okay. I guess. Yeah. If there's an expert, feel free to let me know.
I mean, whatever they are, they wrote pretty awesome poetry, it sounds like. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think you then go on to say, and let me see here. Yeah, let me scroll down for the viewership. For the viewerships. We are on to My Language Never Heard. You say, my language never heard, my name soon forgotten. Power above, cradled below, flawless in design, a shadow. Sun zealous sky, what? Sidling earth? 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, place of my birth. Okay, that's a rhyme.
Oh my god, it is.
Tell us about that, and what the hell does sidling mean?
So sidling means to like scooch close to someone playfully.
What? There's a word for that?
Yeah, Google it right now.
No, I believe you, but I want to look it up all of a sudden.
Sidle, S-I-D-L-E.
I'm going to look it up. Sidling. Walk in a furtive, unobtrusive, or timid manner, especially sideways. Yeah, nice try, dog.
That's what it is.
What? Walk in a furtive, unobtrusive, or timid manner, especially sideways or obliquely.
Yeah.
I sidled up to her.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah. So, my language never heard, my name soon forgotten. Basically, he is of no consequence to this planet that he's on. It doesn't matter. Like, It doesn't. It no. He's coming. He's a passing thing, coming and going. It doesn't matter. Power above, cradle below is a reference to potentiality.
Yep.
Power above, now cradled below.
Yeah.
So he's thinking about his past. He's thinking about the Dyson station he grew up on, DS Alpha 12389.
That's the one.
And that's really it. But it was vocally, that's so fun to do. Power above, cradle below, flawless in design, no shadow, suns of the sky, sidling earth, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, place of my birth. And then as a vocalist, that's where you let the guitars do the work, so you can do this. And then do your next section.
And then it looks like a quote is said, "Hear me, fluttering winds, take back the breaths that I'm made of."
It's the same line as above, essentially.
Okay, so he's just speaking that same like poetic line.
Right.
Okay, and then you finish the song. I cannot see more, yet I can see clearly now. The word is all things that I have lost, I can now find again.
Correct.
Interesting. So this guy just like winds up on a random ass planet where all directions intersect. He's reflecting on the immensity of the planet, and
somebody on Spotify is listening to Between Sea and Sky.
Oh my gosh, Chris, he's
Much
listening
love.
to it right now.
Much love, Chris.
That's funny. Yeah. So you're okay. Interesting. Then that's going to take us to Behind Leaves and Vines. Is there a chronology to these things? Like, does he do one and then the other and then the other and then the other?
Each of these happen in order, and in each I can see clearly all the things I've lost.
Oh my God! Stop! I won't be able to hear this song ever again.
No, that's perfect. I love it. I love it. So this is Behind Leaves and Vines.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, each one does happen one after the other. In each one, he like learns essentially something. Well, no, it's not about learning a specific factoid. It's not about being like, oh, did you know that evaporate? It's not like that. It's
evaporation.
It's like gravity is this, It's not like he's learning factoids, but he's being forced to face himself. He's being forced, like, you really want to like have an existential crisis? Sit in utter silence for an hour. And with no stimulus, and the only person you'll have to hang out with is yourself, and it'll be weird. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. If you're from Phoenix, you know.
Oh my God, is that lawyer?
No, that's Shane Company.
Shane Co. Oh
Shane
yeah.
Co. Now you have a friend in the diamond business.
Oh.
No, I guarantee it is Men's Warehouse.
It is Men's Warehouse. It'll fit you. It's the best fit you'll ever have. I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
Guarantee it.
Yeah, so Behind Leaves and Vines is actually my favorite song lyrically on the album. And with that, I'm going to take another little restroom break. But don't put us on break. Just
entertain the folks.
There's a joke amongst everyone I know that I have the bladder of a pregnant woman. And it's true.
Yeah, Mark pees the most out of all of us. Actually, Mark probably pees enough for the entire band combined.
I'm the reason there are water shortages because of how much I
flush.
flush.
You're the guy, right?
That's me.
The flusher?
Yep.
We're going to call you the flusher.
Cool.
You just have to be sweaty and red the whole time.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Gandhi, that's super tight that your art playlist starts with us. I'll pay for that. Wait, what are you guys paying for? Did I miss a joke? Hang on, what's the joke? Also, for those of you who don't know, this lore book that we keep like referencing, it's called Chapter of Atlas, or that's a working title. It could change. Mark suggested a new title to me today, but we're working on this lore book right now for Cartership fans, and it's going to be this super unique. Well, it's not unique, but it's going to be a super fun thing that I've never seen other bands do, and I'm going to explain to you kind of how we think it's going to work. We develop a lore book with all kinds of stuff. It's going to be Mark's lore that he's writing. It's going to have Alunea translations. It's going to have different characters from the story, like going in and out of like making commentary on the lore book that they found. It is going to have blank pages in the back for fans to write speculations or add some kind of value to the book overall. And what we want to do is we want to create this one book, and then we'll have an email list where we ship it out to a person, and they get to sort of like read it, discover it, add notes to the margins. What's that word called?
Marginalia.
You can practice marginalia in the book.
Add your own Here's a poem called Marginalia.
Is it all just in the edges?
No.
Oh man, that'd have been smart. So we're developing this book. It's gonna be super cool, and we want to ship it out to everybody who's on this email list that we have yet to develop yet, and then just have it shipped back, and then we kind of move it on to the next person, and the next person, the next person. Now we want to make sure everybody's safe. So like with COVID going on, I don't want to like just have a single article, a single item that's like, here, now it's your turn. Now you touch it. Now you touch it.
Surfaces for like 86 seconds or something. It's fine.
I'm not sure, but we'll have to read up on that and just make sure that it's super cool. But we're working on the cover right now, which you can check out in our Discord. So if you do !Discord, it'll bring up the link, and you guys can go check it out.
It's the same reason why it's unreasonable to be worried about things being shipped from China.
Okay.
Like, I don't want anything made from China because I'll get that corona. It's like, no, you fucking won't.
I got you.
No. Things from China are fine.
Things from fine are fine?
Things from fine are fine.
Things from fine are fine. I guarantee it.
It would be totally safe if we shipped to people.
Can you move this to like 6 inches so people can hear you?
6 inches.
There we go. Love that.
Cool.
Now people can know what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's going to be kind of fun. So check it out if you guys want to be a part of that. And
you should show. Okay, when we talk about chapters of Atlas, we should show them the idea for the artwork.
I can do that. I can totally do that.
Stick around to the end.
Yeah, at the end we will absolutely go over Chapter of Atlas and kind of give you some previews of what's going on with that. It'll be super cool.
God, how did you fucking write this part, dude?
I'll tell you. This item right here.
Oh, that's what you used, but how did you write it? Like how did these sounds come? Which channel has the info for what?
Oh, Noah, it's on the artwork. I'm pretty sure it's on artwork, or it might be under merch. Let me pull it up really quick. I'll tell you. That's my searching noise. Oh, it's under merch. Yeah, it's under merch. I posted it today at 5 p.m. You'll see it. It's the most recent. It's one of the most recent posts. But that's kind of the working cover right now. It was actually drawn by my roommate, Riley Smith, from Riley Smith Designs. Definitely give him a follow on Instagram and stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Behind Leaves and Vines.
So Behind Leaves and Vines is maybe not my favorite song on the album. Oh, by the way, everyone, The Almanac is my favorite Kardashev album.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. When did you decide that?
Like a month ago. The Bearing of Shadows is
relatively
a close
recent.
Second. The Bearing of Shadows is a close second, but I like The Almanac a little bit better.
I like The Almanac the most.
I don't know why. I love The Bearing of Shadows. I think The Bearing of Shadows is amazing, but I just like The Almanac. I don't know why.
Okay. That's fine by me, dog.
Big same. Yeah, see? Yeah,
Big
see?
Same.
Yo, Aristotle in the house. What's up, dude?
Yo, Aristotle, what up, dog? The Boom is in the
Boomer?
house, guys. Go follow Aristotle if you want to get deeper into the philosophical discussion. That dude's a badass. We were on his stream a couple weeks ago. It was fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I want to do that again. By the way, dude, Boomer, I do want to do that again. I'm very serious. Yeah, Behind Leaves and Vines. Let's do it.
All right, let's hit
Behind Leaves and Vine. Come on, dude.
Dude, Riley Smith Designs. Please check in.
Passing the buck.
No, I just got a guy who can fix it right now.
Yo, listen, I pass the buck all the time.
Oh, good. Stop giving me shit for it then. Behind Leaves and Vine. Thanks, Riley. Appreciate that. Okay, so you start off by saying, I was a pilgrim, but oh, I was lost. I looked from the forest down. Oh, I'm going to start there because that's kind of where you break it.
Sure. So traditionally a pilgrim is somebody who's on a spiritual or religious journey, right? Obviously, Kent's not really on a religious journey, but the word is very, like, pilgrim hits differently than, like, vacationer, right? Like, somebody who's I'm on a trip. Like, no, it's not that. It's a very purposeful trip that he's taking. And if you think about it, a pilgrim is going somewhere, right? You're headed to Mecca. You're headed to the Vatican. You're headed to, the Wailing Wall, Gethsemane. You're going somewhere intentional. Oh, by the way, I was a tourist.
I was a tourist. That's gotta happen.
I forgot my fanny pack. Dude, that shit's hilarious.
I was a tourist. We're gonna have to do that when you perform live with me.
I lost my reservation. All right, anyway.
Jesus. Thanks, Jim.
Dude, that was hilarious. I dialed 411. You gotta fucking stop.
I was a tourist. I dialed 411. There's gonna be a meme version soon.
Oh,
be
dude,
careful.
That's funny.
Don't tell bro job.
So essentially, so a pilgrim is somebody who's going on a very intentional journey, and to be lost.
That was louder than I expected.
Really loud. Sorry, everyone. to be lost, to not have a destination as a pilgrim is sort of counterintuitive. It's sort of like, it's like almost like you can't even be a pilgrim unless you know where you're going, right? And so that's a very like there's like a large level of like inner conflict that's going on. And fun fact, by the way, when I recorded that, I was a pilgrim and I was lost, I did not support properly, and I screamed it without intention, and I hurt my voice for like 2 weeks. So if anybody's at home like wanting to cover that song, like maybe don't copy that sound.
Yeah, maybe don't try to like blow your vocal cords out.
You gotta aim it forward and high.
Hey, this is my channel. Just kidding. Okay, so you say I was a pilgrim, but I was lost. I looked from the forest down to a river. The night, silver hands on my hair. So this song is literally just about seeing a deer in the woods, and then it runs away, and you're like, "Damn, that was dope." That's all this song is about. That is this song.
And this is actually one of my favorite. This is like, if anybody, like, if when I die, somebody's like, "Mark, what are the best lyrics you ever wrote?" It might be this song.
Wow.
I've written some shitty lyrics.
What?
Oh, yeah.
This series is on album 4. I think you might have said that 10 times? 6 times?
Well, that's basically what fucking Excipio... No, Progression was. But I think these are some of my favorite lyrics, because it really is... if you've ever... I don't know, like, beauty doesn't always have to represent something else. It can just be what it is.
Fuck yeah.
You know, you don't always have to... Like, for somebody who's all about allegory and analogies and stuff, sometimes a beautiful scene can just be a beautiful scene, and it doesn't need to mean anything else. Mm-hmm. You can just take it for what it is. And that's kind of the experience that Kent has here. So I looked from a forest down to the river. The night, silver hands on my hair is essentially just describing the scene, right? So I guess Kent has hair. If we have Riley draw Kent, he has hair now.
Riley, take notes.
But essentially, yeah, he's wandering through the woods. He doesn't know where he's going. This song is so beautiful. Lots of inspiration in leaves and vines for me. Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate that. But essentially that. It's just a description of place.
Okay.
Because place is so important, you know?
Silver hands on my hair? What's that about?
That's just the moon. That's just the moonlight.
Oh, the moonlight along the hair, and you're describing it as hands?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, or
is it like the moon's light is like caressing their head?
Yeah.
I get it.
It adds a relationship between the moon and yourself if it's caressing you.
Wow.
You know, that's all.
Jesus. You made me weep like a child soon. All right, here we go. Then you say, there in the closed-eye sky, I saw the clouds part to reveal her. She drank the moon from the crystal riverbed. So,
you
refer to the sun or the moon as an eye a lot.
Yeah. So when I wrote this, I was thinking about the lyrics in the first song, and I decided to stick with an eye. So closed eye, the sun is closed, right? The eye is closed versus the eye being open. That's all that means.
So I have an open eye, maybe.
See you later, Death Chicken.
See you later, Death. Take care.
Love you, Musho. And so essentially, he's looking from the forest down to the river. The clouds part. The moonlight illuminates a single deer. Ray.
I was gonna start, but I was like, no, don't derail him.
Myself, far, long, long way to run. Anyways, sorry. And he just sees this beautiful deer down by the riverbed, and this is actually so. This is kind of interesting because obviously we'd had a lot of releases, but this is where I figured out how I like to write.
Oh.
This line, she drank the moon from the crystal riverbed, informed the way that I wrote lyrics on The Bearing of Shadows. Because I realized that I like to write uone. Oh my god. Dude, you gotta fucking stop with your jokes. Uone, a long, long way to run.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that's choice. That is choice.
Uone, noun, a long, long way to run. Jim, these are gold, bro.
All right. What was I talking about?
You were talking about how this informed the way you wrote The Bearing of Shadows.
Right. So I decided I liked to write things beside the subject.
Yeah.
Right? So if I was writing about like a cake, I would write about all the things relating to the cake, describing the cake, but I wouldn't talk about the cake itself. So she drank the moon from the crystal riverbed. If you were to say that literally, it's she was drinking from a creek. That's it.
Maybe it was drinking from a creek.
Well, it's a doe.
Yeah, I know, but if we're not being as descriptive as possible.
Well, I guess there's that. But essentially, so the moon is reflecting. The moon is reflecting in the creek. She drinks from it. It's almost like this, like weird, like cyclical thing. So she drank the moon from the crystal riverbed. Is just like I saw her drinking from a creek. A roundabout way to talk about something.
Yeah.
Which will reference this when we talk about the Bearing of Shadows. Breath held by the door on damp dust windowsills, but that'll come later.
Yeah, well, hopefully next week. Next Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys, so just as a reminder, next Thursday is going to be the last day that we have Mark here to do these sort of episodic deep dives into the lyrics of the albums, because guess what? We'll have run out of albums by that point.
We got Iota still, technically.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could do Iota, but I had a thought about that. What if we wait until Iota 2 is released, and then we can talk about both of them?
Dope.
Okay, that'd be tight. Okay, so, Jim, that bitch was thirsty. Sounds about right. Yeah, that's kind of it, right? Okay, then you say the world was silent, cold. She lifted her head. Are you just describing what he was observing?
Yeah, and so at this time I was reading a lot of Japanese death poetry.
Yeah.
And which I do periodically through my life. And one thing I love about haiku and death poetry is that
See you later, Big Bear.
it just describes the world as it is, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful in its own description, in its own right. Like, why do the cherry blossoms need to mean anything other than that they are cherry blossoms? By the way, don't buy the bullshit that a haiku is 575. They did that when they brought haiku over to the United States to teach students how to write with brevity. Haiku traditionally is not 575. It's about condensing meaning into a few lines. So,
Wow.
yeah, if you read a lot of old haiku, it's like doesn't follow that. Like most haiku in Japanese, and if you think about it, that makes sense, because like a word in English is not going to hold the same syllables as a word in Japanese. So don't buy that bullshit.
I wonder if there's a symbolic rule in Japanese, though, that helps them inform the way to write.
Not that they used in traditional haiku.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm not going to get off on a thing here. Vax says, damn, I can't join on Thursdays after this week. I'm going to change to a different team at work. Hey, no problem. We're going to have the video on demand on our YouTube and on our Twitch channel here. True. So if you guys have missed any episodes so far, I will be uploading them this weekend to our YouTube channel. Yeah, we're actually going to work on the thumbnails for them tonight.
Sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
Will this video be saved to watch later? Yes, it will, as I just explained. Abermuffin, love you guys. Excuse me, love you too. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking it out.
Thanks for hanging.
Okay, so the next stanza, you say, great reverence in distance, piercing through branches, I stood behind the fallen birch.
So this is literally Kent, the character, watching from a distance. And like, if you've ever seen a wild animal in a... Oh, from a distance,
we are I don't know the words.
Me neither. But if you've ever seen a wild animal in the woods, like, you have to keep your distance, right? You have to...
Don't read what Noah said.
No, she was actually Chinese. So
Communist propaganda. Oh my God. Noah.
You're the best.
You're the best.
You're the best.
Around.
No,
Never gonna let you down. Okay,
Anyways.
so great reverence and distance, piercing through branches, I stood behind the fallen birch.
Essentially, it's just that. I mean, it's just like, imagine walking through the woods and it's the dead of night and you see wildlife. Like, that's probably going to be kind of a magical experience, unless it's like wildlife you see all the time and it's the damn like javelinas digging up your garden again. But
or it's pigeons or some shit.
Right? But essentially, it's just that. It's just what it means, and sometimes that's enough, you know.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. Snowfall, I stepped into the light. So you're just kind of like, it seems like you're illustrating a scene where Kent moves towards this thing that is so magically breathtaking, and upon doing that, nimble retreat, what beautiful heartache in a moment so fleeting.
Yeah, so he steps out from the trees. She sees him, lifts up her head, runs away, and he's like sad because like the moment's over, but it was so beautiful, like he'll hold on to it. So that's it. What beautiful heartache in a moment so fleeting. Like, it's that same thing of where something's so beautiful. We talked about it last time, like your heart hurts, like your chest hurts.
Yeah.
Because something is just so beautiful. And it's just him experiencing that for the first time.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild. Okay, so that is Behind Leaves and Vines. that brings us into Beneath Dirt and Stone.
That's an instrumental.
Oh my God, it is an instrumental. Should we talk about it? Why didn't you write lyrics over this?
I didn't want to.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, listen to it. There's not like a lot of like for me as well as to work with there.
Okay, so we'll skip that one, and that brings us to Beyond Sun and Moon, which is almost the last song, and then we're gonna do the last song, which has more Alinea for you to read, sight read.
I'll sight read the outro. I'll do my best.
Okay.
I'm 6 apple juices in, so we'll see. We'll see how I do. I'll BRB.
I think you'll do fine.
I think I'll do fine too. Man, it's so cramped in here.
Oh, just stop it.
Just stop it.
Stop. Yeah, these are always fun. I learn so much. Like, I don't know most of these little like insightful like origin stories. I'm just like, okay, I'm putting on the click track. Are you ready? And then I push the fucking record button, dude. But then at other times I'll try to have that conversation like, oh, how did you come up with this? And he's just like, I don't know, man. I just wrote it. And I'm like, all right, cool. You don't want to talk about it. No, he's never that curt, but it's still fun. Oh, we're on, whoops. We're on to, we need to put on Beyond Sun and Moon. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but today on our YouTube channel, we uploaded a behind the scenes for this music video. It just kind of shows some like brief discussions, and it shows hilarious footage of us like rocking out in the middle of the desert at night. And it's funny because there's no music. Because here's the thing. When we did the recording of the music video, each of our parts was done with headphones in. 1, because it was convenient, and 2, because we were in the middle of the desert, but it was kind of near like, we were like on a mountain that's in the middle of like a suburb. And so we couldn't like blast music for ourselves to hear it because everybody around, they'd call the cops or something. But we did have an acoustic drum set, and the guy who was filling in for the music video, his name's Jared. Whoa, nice catch.
Thank you.
His name's Jared, super cool guy. He did have an acoustic kit. So at like 8 p.m. on Saturday or something, there's just an acoustic kit drummer out in the middle of the desert just blasting and like going crazy on a kit so we could get that footage. So it's pretty cool.
That was not an acoustic kit. That was the real deal.
Yeah, that's an acoustic kit.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I thought you meant an electronic kit.
No,
Hello,
that's okay.
My name is Mark, and I'm a fucking moron.
No. Gotta run, fellas. Hey, Chris, we'll see you later, bud.
Thanks for hanging.
Yeah, thanks for hanging, man. Noah says, I'm just picturing these scenes from the song, and it'd be awesome to see them in an artistic illustration.
That's something we want to do. And
Mark's a beautiful onion. So many layers.
Yo, listen. Onion Knight, Final Fantasy 3, powerful build.
My dude spits facts.
It's also a good weapon for Lulu in Final Fantasy 10.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She has the little doll, the onion one.
Listen, if you've played Final Fantasy 10, you know that you always do the battle-winning attack with Lulu.
Stop it.
That's where else.
This is a family-friendly stream.
That's all I'm saying.
Yo, she does like the thing with her arm. Oh, anyway.
Hi, Mark. What's up, Jim?
Oh, hi, Mark. Okay.
I just spilled on myself. I'm sorry, everyone.
So yes, this music video behind the scenes is available on our YouTube. Also, let's talk about these lyrics.
Yes.
Man, you write a lot of words.
That's my job.
What?
That's what I'm here to do.
No, your job's to sing, not write words. I mean, you can do both if you want. Well, you say once long ago. Why is long ago capitalized? I don't know. Let's stop critiquing Nico's ability to edit websites.
No, it's not like party foul. No,
no, don't.
No, I'm not. First of all, there's not really enough left to chug. Second of all, I've never been a big chugger.
The weird thing is, why do you keep going in there to refill that?
You fucking piece of shit.
You're welcome. Yeah, he's not a chugger.
No.
Chugger, I barely knew her. So you say, once long ago, with eyes eclipsed, my thousand-fold mind cried, I have all answers.
So essentially, this is Kent talking about how he was a pompous prick back in the day. Like, he felt like he knew everything he needed to know. He felt like he was the smartest and most intelligent person that there was, and so he decided to travel through space and time to become enlightened. But in doing so, he basically realized that there's a bunch of shit he doesn't know. So at this point, he has gone back. So in this song, he's actually gone back to the Dyson station. He's gone back to what we can call present day. He's gone back to the Dyson station, and it's completely empty. Everybody's gone. So maybe he's a little bit forward in the past, and he's thinking like, man, like I thought I was like this superior being, but really, like, I'm not. And so a long time ago, I thought I knew everything, and now I just don't. Now I realize I just don't. And so it's that. Sorry, I'm a little tied up here.
That's okay. You can fix it.
There we go. But it's essentially him just kind of realizing, like, no, I don't know everything. No, I don't. Like, if ever you think you know everything, there's probably you probably don't know much.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the experience he's having.
Okay. All right, I'm into that. So then you say, I have all answers. I saw shadow my law. Oh, wavering journey and infinite circle.
So essentially, I guess one thing I forgot to mention is eyes eclipsed. So I talk about eyes, taunting silver-eyed dead in the sky. They're in the closed eye sky. Mm-hmm. So we have this concept of eyes opening and closing being the sun and the moon.
Right.
And this song is beyond sun and moon. So I was like, well, let's talk about him having his eyes eclipsed. So his like vision is blinded. He's lacking foresight. Right. And so an eclipse is kind of like a shadow. Right. And so I saw shadow my law is basically him realizing he doesn't know anything. Like he thought he was a genius, but he's simply not. And then, oh, wavering journey and infinite circle is basically being like, I left to seek out things I didn't know, and yet here I am again. Like, I'm back where I started. And it's a little bit frustrating for him. And that's that.
Okay. Then you say, my thoughts swell with the sun as I enter the room of my birth. So is he walking back into the laboratory in which he was grown?
Yeah, so he's walking back into the same setting that the song Multitudes of Life takes place in. And I wanted to talk about the sun going supernova, to talk about maybe why they left the Dyson station. And so I looked into it, and I'm probably wrong, but a supernova, the sun would compress and then expand and then explode.
Yeah.
So it's already compressed, now it's expanding. My thoughts swell with the sun as I enter the room of my birth. Yeah, basically, like, he's seeing the inevitable end of where he grew up. He left it. It's vacant. He can't go. And that's the thing, too. Like, you know, like, you remember going off to college?
Yeah.
And then you come back and, like, your parents turned your room into something else.
Yeah.
And, like, they got used to you not being there, so they kind of don't want you to be there anymore because it was, like, kind of nice.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, like, I can't just assume that the world stays still while I'm gone. He's kind of having that experience right now.
Wow. Okay. So then you say, every footstep returns to the dirt. Two clear voices. Accelerate replication. Authorization denied.
So, every footsteps returns to the dirt is a bit of a biblical reference, talking about, like, humans. My parents moved when I went to college.
Poor Vax.
They were like, I'm out of here. Every footstep returns to the dirt is just basically, it's a loose biblical reference. And then accelerate replication and authorization denied. Those are just two quotes from Multitudes of Life. And it's him just thinking about his mom, essentially, or the closest thing to a mom that he's ever had.
I have a question from the previous description of a song. Is Kent human?
So he's the precursor to what humans would be.
So he's like the divine, he's like the demigod version of humans, maybe?
I don't want to, like, use terms like divine and God, because then that creates a power dynamic that there isn't. Think more like primordial.
Oh, so like he has traits and abilities that maybe like natural selection got rid of by this point for humanity.
So the idea that I really enjoyed at the time was that humanity, and, like, it is purely in a sci-fi sense, not in, like, a real, like, aliens, like, oh, this is my conspiracy theory sense. But basically, like, humans were seeded, or, like, life was seeded in the galaxy by other beings.
Yeah.
Basically, like, if life had been seeded, but one of those seeds never, like, just stayed in the wind and never, like, landed on soil, that was him floating as that cell.
Oh my God, that's so
he's
sick.
kind of like, he's like the youngest being, but also the oldest one at the same time. Essentially. That's all.
Snaps.
No, I mean, that's a super common sci-fi trope, so I can't be like, I thought of this cool thing.
Sorry, viewership. Thank you for the reminder. I'm really bad at babysitting that. I wish I could just link it to my other crap.
You can't.
You can't. Okay, so here we are. where you say two clear voices, accelerate replication, authorization denied. Those are the same things that occur in Multitudes of Life, where there's a dialogue that we already discussed like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you move to my favorite part of the song, my favorite part of the lyrics, when you say, please come now, wind, bring back what I've lost. I see shadow, shadow my law, I'll drink to the stars and then hunt down the moon. Dude, the come now, wind part is a reference to the first song on this album.
Yeah.
Oh.
So essentially, he's willing to give up everything that he's learned, all progress he's made, if he could just go back.
Go back to that, like, stillness, almost.
Yeah, because he gets back to the Dyson station, and nobody's there. Everybody's gone. People have left. His home is empty. And he'd give anything to have it back. So, please come now, wind. It's a reference to the first song. Bring back what I've lost. All things I have lost, now I can find again, or whatever.
Yeah.
Is a reference to song 2. I'll drink in the stars and then hunt down the moon. Is a reference to Behind Leaves and Vines. She drank the moon from the... So he's basically saying, like, listen, I'll give up everything I learned just to have my old life back. But you can't. Like, it's not possible, right? I mean, I guess technically he could travel back in time, but it'd be a facsimile. It'd be false. It wouldn't be real, you know?
He would have, like, circumvented a sort of fate, almost.
And he'd know what was going to happen eventually, so it's like he couldn't live that lie.
It reminds me of what is that movie, Arrival? Is it Arrival? What's the one where the guy, like, lets her go through time so that her daughter doesn't have cancer? Like, she gets to keep doing that.
There's a little bit of that in Arrival.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways,
thanks, Devin. Appreciate you.
Yo, Devin, what's up, my dude? Yeah, man. Hope you guys are enjoying this kind of insight. This is a fun little thing that we're actually going to turn into a
product.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to make a book about the lore. We're going to go, like, deep dive into it and see if everybody's interested. Okay, so the next bit here, you say, swaying light shine, distance fade away, opening door, oh shrinking sun, compress, a diamond, sundering roar, opening eyes, ignite, be still.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research into what light speed theoretically would look like.
Yeah.
And it's actually really interesting. So they say that if you, obviously they don't know for sure,
right,
but if you were on a vessel going at light speed, everything you can see would compress into a tiny little pinprick in front of you, and it would just be different shades of red and blue.
Wow.
Yeah. And so basically at this point, this is what leads into Chapter of Atlas.
Ooh.
So when we release Chapter of Atlas, it kind of starts at this point. So swaying light shine, distance fade away. That's a reference to the Kiliagon. So I'm trying to tell the listener and the reader that he goes back to the Kiliagon. He steps into it again, because he wants to find where everybody went. And to his best understanding, they used the Kiliagon to transport. But as we know, because we
listen to Displacement
and Continuum, he actually is sending himself to where the Pathfinders were sent.
Yes,
which is the beginning of Chapter of Atlas. So essentially, he steps into the Kiliagon, he starts moving at light speed, everything compresses in front of him, and then boom, he's on this alien planet. And
it's so tight.
He sees one of the Pathfinders, the first Pathfinder to wake up.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Which are talked about in Continuum, which are basically humanity's way of populating the galaxy by creating self-replicating technology to build a society that's ready for them once they show up.
Yep.
But they never do.
Oh no.
For reasons we don't know.
Yeah, for things that aren't, I guess, described yet.
Right.
Okay. So you pretty much explain lightspeed travel as best as our current understanding might describe it, with some poetic allowance in there.
A lot of poetic allowance.
Don't worry about that part. Okay. So then it looks like there's supposed to be a quote here. What place is this? And then you say something in Alunea?
So this is him. This is Kent and the being whose name is Atlas.
Whoa. The Pathfinder being?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he shows up, and this Pathfinder is just on like an afternoon walk. And he sees Kent just kind of like...
and he's just there.
Show up. And so Kent says, "What? Like, where am I?" And then the Pathfinder says, "Ia rae sol."
What the fuck?
Ia rae, which means one being, oun, from sol, sun.
Sun.
A person from the sun. And I wanted to do that on purpose because I wanted Alanea to have human origins. So sol sounds like sol.
Yeah.
Which is from the Latin word for sun. I wanted this to be like an almost ancestral language, but in the future.
Fuck.
So Ia Hale Owen Soal is so I hadn't seen Prometheus at the time, but there are some parallels. Whoopsie. Yeah. Exactly.
That's amazing. Hold on. Aristotle, yes, you should watch the VOD and stick around here. We've got to mouth the music. Vax has just redeemed that. Vax, I will do that in just a second. Aristotle, the beginning of this VOD and what we're about to do right after this song is him speaking the language that he created.
Yeah, I created a language called Alanea for this album and for the overall lore.
Yeah, so right when we're done with this song, we're going to get into that more and we'll talk about it. Also, Nico has to mouth the music.
I'll do it with you so you're not alone.
Bum, bum,
Alanea.
Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, that's enough.
So fucking dumb.
Thanks for that, Vax. It's fun though.
It is fun.
I'm waiting for somebody. So what's funny is I haven't done a live stream with music since I've put that in there. So I've not had to cut my guitar off and been like ever
true.
yet. I'm
That's
so
true.
excited to do it when I do. Okay, I can just see it now. I need to raise the threshold, otherwise you guys are gonna be like, I did 7 of them. I need you to do the whole song now.
Oh God.
That'd be fun. I would try it.
You try it.
Okay, so what place is this? And then you say
Ia Hale Owen Soal.
a single being from the sun.
One person from the sun.
One person from the sun. Okay, then you say I stood so still. Can you say that?
Vead Quarne Kourpaion.
Okay.
So Vead is only, Quarne is flesh, carne, flesh, meat,
Oh my God.
carnival,
Like carne asada,
like carne asada, or the word carnival. Do you know what the word carnival means?
a festival of humans.
Festival of the flesh.
Oh.
But specifically in the biblical sense, like of like desire of indulgence.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
And then Kourpaion is corpse. So
What? It's corpse?
it's body. It's not corpse, it's body. So this being, if you're familiar with the lore of Excipio, these are biorobotic beings.
Yeah.
And this biorobotic being is being like, yo, this guy's only bio,
Oh.
no robotic. That's weird. Like I'm flesh and mechanics. He's just flesh. Only flesh, his body. And then this is something that's important for Alanea, which we can talk about later, but it's interims. There's no ownership, but there's interim. Right? So Ion, I-O-N, means relating to this subject. So if I said Vead Quarne Korpaio, it'd be, or Korpa, it's like bodies are only flesh. But Vead Quarne Korpaion is his body is only flesh.
Oh.
But his is not the right translation
No,
because they
it's-
don't have ownership.
It's subject of previous words.
correct.
Also has this like accompanying suffix almost.
Right.
Holy
Yes.
fucking. We need to get some linguists in here.
Noah says you missed my point thing.
No, did you make a point? Did you do a point thing? Dude, I'm so sorry. Which one
Scroll
did you
up.
do?
We'll find it. We'll do it.
I was just trying to. Well, Vax redeem. Nico has to mouth the music. Vax redeem. Nico has to. You did 2 of them? Oh, there he is. Redeemed sing mode. Oh, we gotta do sing mode.
What's
Okay.
the sing mode?
Sing mode is we have to sing everything we say for the next minute.
Okay.
Well, looks like you're in. Looks like you're in charge because next you say, "Where have I gone?" Iaj Ozio.
Do the lyrics of the song.
Oh.
Where have I gone?
Iaj Ozio Yolande.
Of Yalandea.
What words are these?
Alunea
Dagwanai. That's tight.
So, I said so still. Where have I gone? Ia Jose of Yalandea. Ooh, I don't remember what that means.
Uh-oh.
Ia Jose of.
Got him, boys. Got him.
Andea is before. Oh, I've seen him before.
Wait, how has he seen him before?
Iash, because he looks familiar. Because he looks like him. So Kent says, "Where have I gone?" And then the being says, "Ia Jose of Yalandea," which means Iash, I, O, past tense, Zeov, saw. So if I say Iarzheov, it's I see, I'm seeing,
But
I'm
the
looking
O-
at. Iarzheov is I saw. Iarzheov is I saw. Iarzheov is I see, I'm looking at. Iarzheov, this tankard. Iarzheov, I saw this tankard.
Oh my gosh.
Iarzheov, Yal, him, but they don't have gender in their language either. Yal, so that person. Andea, before. Andea, far before. Iarzheov Andea, I saw him before.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I understand this. You say, what place is this? And then he says, a person from the sun.
Yeah.
Then you say, I stood so still. And then he said something about...
Yo, like his body's only skin. That's weird.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Then it says, where have I gone?
Iarzheov Yalandea.
Which means...
I've seen this person before.
Okay, and then it's, what words are these?
So this is, notice if you look at these lyrics, they're not talking to each other. They're having different conversations.
Well, it's almost like an internal monologue, an internal monologue, an internal monologue, an internal monologue. They're just kind of happening around the same time, and musically, you're just making them fit.
Elikin, thank you. I tried to make the language enjoyable to listen to, so that means a lot to me. Thank you. But yeah, they're talking to themselves. In this line, right, Ken says, what words are these?
Yeah.
Like, what is this person saying?
Oh, they have to hear it. Okay, so it's not internal. It has to be external.
What is this person saying? And then this person says Alunea, which is the name of the language. Alunea.
They reply?
Yeah, so they've learned to communicate Dagwanai. So Dag is the word for language in Alunea. Ua is of, and then Nai is morning, but they also use it to mean first.
So Nai means morning or first, because the morning happens first in a day.
So if you say Alunea Dagwanai, if we were to translate that word for word, it's Alunea, language of morning. But if we were to translate what it means culturally, it's Alunea, the first language. Which that's what they do it as. So when he says Alunea Dagwanai, he's saying like, I'm speaking Alunea. This is the first language because it's my language and I'm the first being that I know about. So to me, this is the first language.
Wow, they're like making a declaration almost.
Yeah.
Like putting their flag in the ground and being like, "Yo, this is the first language. Like this is what's up."
Yes, but remember, this cultural doesn't have a sense of ownership, so they wouldn't.
Okay.
They wouldn't do it in a boastful sense. They would do it in an observational sense.
Correct. So it's like I have heard nothing else, so it is the first language.
Correct.
Whoa. Okay. Now, probably the crux of the whole album right here. I say crux in like the best meaning, whatever. Take that how it is, but. You say, when I returned, all the seeds had grown without me. Mm-hmm. When I returned, all the streams, they flowed without me. When I returned, all the trees, they fell without me. When I returned, all life came and went without me.
So this is Kent talking to this being, who in Chapter of Atlas, we name Atlas. And he's basically saying, like, I went back home and everything was different. Like, I expected the world to be the same and it's not. And that's so true. Like what it's funny. So I dated a woman for a while who she heard this quote and it really distressed her, but I found it kind of beautiful. And then I said like I found it beautiful and she got mad at me.
What?
But she's like, I read this quote online and it really pissed me off. And I was like, what's that? And she's like, you're in everyone else's life, you're just a secondary character. You're just an NPC. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean that's true. And
I love that line.
Yeah, it's great. And she's like, well, I don't want to be an NPC in everybody else's life. And I was like, sorry, Toots, like you are.
God dang.
Like, yeah, that started a big fight. But anyways, this is basically Kent talking to this being Atlas and saying like, I realized that I'm an NPC. And this actually comes from old Zen writings. Be still, stay silent, for the grass grows by itself. Basically, like you don't have to be in control of everything. And sure enough, he thought he was hot shit. He thought he was the smartest being ever. He thought he was going to go perfect the universe, but really he only learned that he is a limited finite being, and he came back and that the world continued without him. Likewise, if I quit the band, like let's say I quit the band, which I'm not going to do. Let's say I quit the band and then 3 years ago, I'm like, what do you mean Kardashev wrote a new album? You'd be like, well, yeah, like, we're still going to be a band without you.
Oh,
and then I might have this existential crisis where I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not Kardashev? Wait a minute, right?
Yeah.
It'd be like, it's like that same situation. It's very humbling, and it's kind of like a kick in the nuts. Like, like you don't matter as much as you think you do.
Yeah.
And that's the experience he's having. And then he says Alanea again because Alanea is the first language, and so it's him having the first realization that he is a finite being. Is essentially what that's there for.
Holy crap. Yeah, I got to agree with Vax. You got way in depth with this language, dude.
Maybe too in depth. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm gonna take a little pee break, and then let's talk about epilogue, and then we can read a little chapter of Atlas.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, let me pull up chapter of Atlas.
I'm excited. No, hold off a little bit.
Well, no, I'm not gonna like put it on the screen. I'm just gonna like prepare it so we can.
I'm excited to read chapter of Atlas. I think they'll like it.
I think you guys will like it too. I'm gonna pull this up, and Mark has a working document that we keep. Most of the things we do, just Mark and Alex and Sean and I and even Riley, all the stuff that we do, we try to keep in a a cloud accessible format, because I want to reference things that Mark's working on, and Sean needs to hear the latest version of the music I'm doing so he can make sure the drums are fitting, and everybody else has their own part, right? They have a piece of this puzzle. So thankfully, the days of flash drives are behind us for the most part. So let me pull up that shared drive. Awesome. Okay, and I have it in dark mode right now. Oh, I just realized I have to open it on the other computer so you guys can see it. Well, I don't know if he wants you to see it. We'll wait. I can get to it pretty quickly. Yeah, this is really fun, man. I'm learning so much about the band that I'm in, like just from the lyrics and lore and all kinds of stuff. It's kind of fantastic. I'm super into it. It's kind of like buying a. So this is a stupid analogy because I'm not smart like Mark with good analogies, but it's kind of like buying a car and then like 3 years in you realize that it has like secret compartments or like is really. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, it has electric as an option. You're like, what? I've had this car for so long and I had no idea. That's how it feels right now.
Like when I realized my desktop had Bluetooth like 2 weeks ago. I was like, you mean I don't need this fucking cord in my interface? I could just Bluetooth these headphones? God, I felt like such an idiot.
That probably felt awesome. Oh shit, I have heated seats. Does Kent's name have any significance?
Yes, it does.
Can I try to answer this?
Of course.
Oh, thanks, man. All right, so.
I wish I had more apple juice. Go ahead.
We can go get more afterwards. So, when they found Kent's seed flying through space, it's a little seed in space. When they found it floating in space, they analyzed its trajectory, and the best they could understand is that it probably came from somewhere near the star Sol, which is why it's a Pathfinder program.
Oops.
No, it's not Sol. It's not Proxima Centauri. I'm sorry. I was
Alpha Centauri.
I was Alpha Centauri. Okay, you tell the story. I'm garbage at this.
So essentially,
God damn it, I was close.
So essentially, when they found Kent's cell, they analyzed its trajectory, and they figured it came from the direction of Alpha Centauri, which some people pronounce Alpha Kentauri, Kent.
There it is. Bada boom. Well, you made that concise, and I just wanted to like make it way more awesome. I was just like, yeah, so there's a trajectory in the sun.
There's a trajectory in the pudding pops.
Yeah. I have had my phone for 3 years, and I just found a new function last month. There it is. You had that same moment. And then Kyle says, it's crazy how much you guys kind of do your own things, yet they come together so freaking amazingly.
That's actually an interesting point. And you know what that is? That there's a literal thing for this.
Cooperation,
and we trust each other with our own jobs. Part of the reason, I'm just going to own this, part of the reason the Almanac is a better album than anything we ever wrote before is because I shut the fuck up and I stopped like sitting next to Nico while he was writing. And like, I never felt like I had to stranglehold the band. I was just so excited to be in a band that I was like, ooh, try this, ooh, do that, ooh, I did that all through Peripety, and those were good albums. But with the Almanac, I stepped back and I was like, let's just let Nico be the guitarist. Let's let Nico write the rhythm section. I'll be the vocalist, I'll be the lyric writer, and I'll keep it there. And we wrote better music for it. So part of the reason it comes together is because I'm in control of all of the lore, although I do run it by these guys. I'm like, hey, do you guys think this is cool? And they're always like, yeah. And I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta hand it to you. Like, I think you analyzed that really well. And somebody once told me, they said, it might have been you. I don't know who it was. It was somebody close to me, but they said, well, I wonder what would happen if we just stuck you in a room for a month with only a guitar and food and water.
Oh yeah, who was that?
But and I was like, I don't understand. Like, what's the comparison? And they were like, I don't know, man. Like, you might just write like the album. And I was like, oh dang, that would be so sick. But they just had a lot of confidence in me, and I just thought it was hilarious because that story has stuck with me.
You know what we always could do?
What could we always do, dude? stick me in a room with a guitar and food and water.
There's that, but I was thinking about next, and you're like, oh, Mark will talk about the Bearing of Shadows, and that's it. We could talk a little bit about upcoming lyrics for Ropography.
Oh, you excited about them?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think they're not very good. So.
Okay. Well, maybe we can do that too. We got a couple things on the plate. We're gonna read through. You're gonna live read.
Not now. Later.
Oh, later on another stream.
On another stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can schedule that. We'll schedule that. I don't know. Next within 2 weeks, I guess, or the next 2 weeks rather.
Oh my God, I'm gonna read this right now. Okay.
You are gonna read this right now. You're not gonna have to read it up there. I'm gonna bring it over here.
No, I'll read it. Okay. So.
No, it's right here.
All right. So as you know, if you've been here since the beginning of the stream, 2 vowels next to each other do something specific, right? So uone, distance. Uone, 2 U's makes you hold it out, or 2 vowels makes you hold it out. Uone, far. If you have a colon, uone, that means short. So for example, if you were to say uone, that's distance. Uone, far. Uone, close. Mm-hmm. Likewise, if you were talking about how you're the coolest guy in the world, you might say iye. If you're just talking about yourself, you might say iye. If somebody caught you doing something bad, who stole those cookies, you might say iye. Small me, large me, just me. Iye, I'm the shit. Iye, I did that. Iye, it was me, I'm sorry. Right?
There's so much implied tonality.
Yeah, it's a very contextual language. So if you see these vowels, pay attention to that if you want to. I'm gonna try to read this. I'm gonna fuck it up.
All right, I'm gonna restart the song. You don't. There's no timer here.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
Ready. Ueil o duazue ive tuen dugue ia jogie tovoe. Ieveiu auja sualtue noevoe taurue. Ua ueil adeiaj, cheuroevoe terliaj, o natia vai mai juan. Dazatia ia joveana, ua iele indau, vele lurai. This is so hard. Ia joveana de zumal, da zaiue o fairoe. Zaiol o suavoedes. Es da zaiue, ia uone, before far, ia uone o modia, raue o izuan. Ia oeona voia, dazatia ia sho aguin. Undea zeinau osh undeata da azaiue. Ia Joseov zaio dai zaimue o suavioe ua uone. Iva uone. Giu iva ia giesh. I'm sorry. Giu iva ia giesh okuo thiavian. Uonelia jo duiuan atuona oevoe zaiuth. Daes dazunei vead tazaiuth. Jaguo Shaugoa ulia suatuena loevoe. Neo. Ia jodone esliazal. Lue loevoe zeoliadia. Umiva liazalia jovaudana. Doesia iaj eushaeno paenoe. I'm sorry. Duesia iaj eushaeno paenoa zeov. Uone doemia gia deirion ia Joseov. Ia joraido edesh. Lue i jurel. Lue i jeruel. Ia jejuma. Ia jejuma oemoe. Aiav oesteul. Ia joatiana. Oh!
Oh my God. First of all, that's just a lot to read in one go. Second of all, you're real-time interpreting a language. You're translating a language that only you know into something that we all know.
It's tough because every vowel... The thing that makes it hard is that every vowel is pronounced. So it's not like that... It's not oistel. It's oisteul. Oisteul ia joatiana. Oisteul. Oisteul. Not oistul. Oisteul. Egiuma. It's not Egiuma. It's Egiuma. Egiuma. Eushaien. Like A-I-E-N isn't ein, isn't ein, it's I-E-N. Eushaien. Eushaiendo Paiunoazeov Uonedo Emiaj Ia Deireon.
You did this to yourself.
Syllables, man.
And everybody else. Also, my favorite part of this whole thing is how the album ends on Oh Atiana.
Oh, Atiana. That was your idea.
I remember directing you and being like, okay, you need to like pause here, then you need to like really inflect something here and there. You had mentioned when we read the prologue, I almost want to say prolapse. You had mentioned in the prologue that there's not a lot of like th or sh sort of effects, but Thiavan and
no.
Zayuf.
So what I meant was that the vowels take inspiration from Spanish, where almost every letter gets pronounced. Like in Spanish, you don't have like Spanish, you never see sh, right? That's all I said.
Oh, okay. I just misread
that doesn't mean that this language, Alanea, doesn't have sh. It just means like every vowel gets a moment.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. Also, Kyle says, my pants are getting tight. My place or yours? I just figured out where he was in the scripture. Scripture, dude. That's so tight. Okay, so I'm going to read to you guys what he actually is saying in English.
Nico, let's do something for fun. Scroll up.
Oh, no.
Read the first 3 sentences now that you know the rules.
No, I don't know how to do this.
Okay, the first 3 sentences, and just remember, each vowel is pronounced individually. J is j, G is r, and R is r.
All right, I'm going to try the first line.
Do it. You got it.
Uil.
No. Ueil.
Ooh. Oh, it's an oo instead of you. I don't say the letter. I have to.
Go slow. It'll help.
Ueil o duazoe iva tuuen.
Yeah. Tuuen.
Du ruo.
Yeah.
Iaj o Gietivoe.
Yeah, good job. Keep going.
Okay. Iveu. Not you. Is it O?
Iveu. Auja.
Auja. Soaltuin. Soaltuen. Oh, see, I don't know where you're like soaltuen. Da-da, da-da. I don't realize that part.
Yeah.
Soaltuen. O Ivoe.
Evoe.
Tauru. Tauru. I don't know how to do that.
Taurue.
Good
job. The first sentence
I'm going to say, dude, there's no, yeah. Like,
the first sentence is a lot.
I'm not going to go past that, but you should all try this. I'll try that. Pop quiz, says Chris. Chris, go to bed, man. You said you're going to bed, dog. No, man, I'm cool. I'm glad to hear.
Is this a screenwrite to the Avatar sequel? Nah, they turned me down because my idea was too good.
Oh, shots fired.
Just kidding. I was like, yo, can you guys not rip off like The Last Samurai and Pocahontas? And
Stop
they were
it.
like, whoa.
They're like, whoa. There's only 36 narratives in the history of the any kind of written language, and you're either doing one or you're doing 27 other ones. So, okay. So, what does all this mean in English? And then we're going to move on to some cool stuff that you guys do not know about yet, and I think you'll enjoy that a lot. You say, the sky... No. I gotta play it this way. Boom. The sky grew darker with each step, until the water and the night became one. The pulse of the water reflected in the expanse above, and I realized that I was in some secret, wonderful place. I don't know how much time passed. The stars were completely still. Once in a while, a shadowy figure passed in the distance. An exchanged glance, and then they were gone. After what would be an eternity or a moment, the stars began to move closer, compressing in front of me. There was a still vast distance to travel, but soon only one small slit of light sat alone in the darkness. Finally, I reached it. The light was piercing, and I felt a soft pull towards it. Lo, as my eyes adjusted, I could see a distant landscape below. The place where we are now. I wasn't afraid. I gently fell from the precipice and stepped through the door.
So a couple typos in there. But essentially this is him talking about how in Beyond Sun and Moon, the song we just talked about, he steps through the Killigon. So if you think about this imagery, a lot of it is, shrinking sun,
compressing stars,
a diamond.
Yeah.
Right? And a diamond is created from like pressure and heat, creating like this crystal, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this is him basically talking to Atlas, this creature, this being, about how he showed up, right? And then precipice. I fell from the precipice. I stepped through the door is a reference to how the Killigon worked back in the song "The Killigon"
What?
on Excipio.
Wow.
Precipice. Door.
Door. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the very end. That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, you both need to do a video of you each sitting by a fireplace on a shiny leather chair in a bathrobe reading the holiday ending. I'll have to get a lot better at pronouncing my own fucking language that I created.
And I'll have to get a bathrobe.
Good point. You just be naked.
I'll be naked. You can stare at my boats.
So essentially, this whole album is Kent telling Atlas about finding a sense of place.
Awesome.
That's the whole thing.
So we now have like 5 characters.
We have Kent, we have Atlas, we have Catherine Bell. Briefly, we have Captain Holloway, or Commander Holloway. We have,
I guess that's it. Do we only have 4?
I think we only have 4.
Okay.
And me a towel.
And me a towel, because I just finished. I have arrived.
I have arrived.
Okay, so
Arrival.
now, so now let's do. I did not prepare for this. Let me see if I. Yeah, I don't think I have one. So we're just gonna chill here on this. Sorry,
deer?
guys.
Yeah, Vax, we've got the deer.
Am I right, baby? Am I right? Am I right, boys?
She's the best character.
Guys, just as a reminder, all of this information is available on our website. You can go read it just as we're reading off of it right now. But now there's something that you will not know about. And that is because Mark is going to give you a preview or discuss or smell the microphone. That's your smell, by the way.
That's just me.
You're the only one who's used that.
It smells familiar.
From our upcoming book that we're working on called The Chapters of Atlas.
So,
Here we go.
thought it would be cool to write a mythological book about the Kardashev lore, written in a style that is similar to mythic poetry like you get in, the Poetic Edda and Homer's Odyssey and things like that. Well, I am never going to be as good as they were thousands of years ago, but I took my best shot at it. And so that's the artwork that we're playing around with. So the drawing is by Riley Smith, Nico's roommate, lives on the other side of the wall. And that is Catherine Bell. We're probably going to switch it with a picture of Atlas.
Why does it look so weird on the screen?
You're messing it up. I'm just kidding. You're fine. But essentially, so Catherine Bell, remember, is Kent's mom. She found Kent in the song Multitudes of Life. And that's basically her with her spacesuit. Also, kudos to Riley for putting the Kardashev peony on there. It's amazing.
And the Kiliagon, which you can't really tell, but it's on there.
And he pulled, what's the style he took inspiration from?
So this is a style of architecture that's called Elizabethan Baroque.
And it's a lot of like the gold filigree.
Yeah. Lots of gold filigree, lots of like, it looks like almost brutalism with a bunch of flash on top of it.
See, it was also curvy for brutalism.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was something else. You're right. It's not brutalism. I apologize.
So that's the artwork we're playing with. It'll probably change because the character's probably going to change. How long will it be? Right now it's about 35 pages, but we're thinking about making it like a full compendium with like a dictionary and other things as well. But if you guys want, or if you folks want, we've got a variety of people here. If all of you lovely people, however you
actual fuck is going on here?
Identify.
I'm so sorry, guys. There we go. That's the best I'm going to do. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. It's just distracting.
Yeah, Aristotle. It does look Art Nouveau. So he took Elizabethan Baroque and combined it with Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau very much being like the profile shot, right? And like the very distinct lines and curves.
Yeah. And no obvious shading. Like if you look here, I mean, you can see that the hair in the background is shaded, but like it's very flat as an illustration. And
correct. So if y'all want, I can read a first. So so with Chapter of Atlas, well, actually, you know what? So one idea we have is to have fans come up with figuring out what this means. So I'm actually not going to explain anything.
Sure. Yeah, I'm into it, man.
So I'll read the first little bit. So this is where it starts. Andeanai. From my best translation, Andeanai appears to mean first morning, though I do find it fascinating that both words can mean first and before, while only nai is ever used for morning. Within these layers of nuance, Alinea has a gentle respect for repetition. There is a reverence for patterns and sequences, though often it is subtle and fluttering below the surface. Because of this, I believe that Andeanai means more than simply the first morning on which the story takes place. It is the first, the origin of all beginnings personified not as an individual, but an occurrence. The Genesis story of whoever speaks this language isn't a formless God's whisper or a cacophonous bang. It is the simple chance meeting of two beings in open air.
Two beings meeting in open air is the end of Beyond Sun and Moon. Oh, you guys got to figure it out.
So the poem starts. We'll read this full poem to y'all, and we'll keep it. So each stanza is 4 lines. The sacred thing was told to us. Yes, the sacred thing was told to us, or it was told to him and then entered our code. Sky Brother and Morning spoke without understanding, until Sky Brother learned the language of morning. Sky Brother said, "What place is this, where the planet pulls deeply and I cannot reach the sky? What place is this?" Morning did not understand and said, "A man from the sun stands before me. Who steps out from the sky and appears from the void?" Sky Brother did not understand and said, "I stood so still, but I have moved away. I fell from the precipice and stepped through a door." Morning did not understand and said, "His body is only flesh, and there is nothing else. His voice is only breath, and there is nothing else." Sky Brother did not understand and said, "Where have I gone? Did the swelling sun devour the star steps and give me a new mind?" Morning did not understand and said, "I have seen him before, or someone in his shape. On the back of my code an image is reflected." Sky Brother did not understand and said, "What words are these? I can speak to each of the 9 in the words of their makers, but I cannot speak to you." Morning gained understanding and said, "Alinea, the first language. The only words to flutter here are of my creation, and yours have come after. This appearance of you, and the quickening of air into your form brings new words. I have created you. I have created other. I have created we. Will this process end?" Sky Brother said, "I come from far off and across, where there are billions. There is a constant bloom, which their words chase with fury. They have created search. They have created median. They have created take. They have created preserve. Here too I see that bloom, and I see that we will chase it, for as long as we speak, this process will not end." Morning said, "To chase and pursue is not known to me." A silvery eye opened, and I walked south. A second eye opened, which was bronze and high. I then walked east. Only now have I become weary. That I must chase without choice and create symbols is a challenge to me. I have begun to walk slowly. Sky Brother said, "A story of where I come from, of a man who held everything. There are some from my home who would call you Atlas." Morning said, "Then I shall be called Atlas, to carry all things as I am. Come with me to the center, where I shall create again." On his arm plate, Atlas carved a boar. And that's the first poem in Chapters of Atlas.
Holy shit. Oh my god, that's so sick.
So it's basically...
There are so many references in there that I just caught thanks to these discussions.
Cool.
Holy crap.
And so what we're going to do with Chapter of Atlas is we're going to create a mailing list. We're going to create a mailing list of people, of fans, and we'll send it to them. And each time we send it, it'll have like little goodies that you get to keep. But it'll also, like, we will encourage you, hey, in this physical copy, write in the pages, highlight things, marginalia. Write in the pages, scribble, come up with your own theories, draw little doodles, whatever you want to do. This is an amazing project, and it was totally Nico and Alex's idea. I totally came way after, but I'm on board with it, and I love it. But essentially, we'll send it to so Noah. We send it to you. You'll fill it out. You'll have a week with it, and then you have to send it back. Like there's like an honor system here. You have to send it back. We'll do this with all the people on the mailing list, and then all of your fan theories will then be printed with your handwriting in the margins as the final product, and then sent out to everybody.
Yeah, and then we'll have it available for sale for like as a coffee book or something, coffee table book. That, you know, mostly people who are going to have their own writing in the book will be interested in, but then also in the future, each time we reference this lore, there's a physical item that a person who's just finding out about Kardashev can go after and get, and whoever has put their stuff in the margins, they're a part of that now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everything is a reference. Everything has an answer. Everything is solvable. Everything can be figured out. And it's up to, and it's like a mailing list geocache. Yeah, it is kind of like
we
a mailing
actually
list
discussed geocaching. Okay, quick side story. Alex's other band is called Holy Fawn. Holy Fawn goes on tour regularly when there's not a global pandemic going
You should
on.
put Holy Fawn in the background.
I will totally put on Holy Fawn right now. I love Holy Fawn.
Holy Fawn is legit good. It's not like, hey guys, we want to be nice, so we're going to say this band is good. Like, no, Holy Fawn is good.
Dude, they're almost at 1 million on this song.
Almost at 1 million listeners. That makes sense.
Good job.
They went on tour with my favorite band of all time, Me Without You.
Me Without You, yeah. And they're actually going on tour this upcoming October with Cult of Luna.
COVID permitting.
Yeah, COVID permitting, with Cult of Luna and who else was it? Caspian? I think it's Caspian. So check them out. But this is where we got the geocaching idea that turned into the Sisterhood of the Traveling lore book for Kardashev, basically. That is that when they were on tour, they brought with them a cassette that had 3 songs that nobody had ever heard by Holy Fawn. They put some cryptic messages on their social media explaining what the plan was. They stopped it like hundreds of miles outside of cities while they were going from one city to another to play shows. And they filmed themselves putting this cassette in a random tree stump somewhere in those thousands of miles between cities. And they said, whoever wants it can have it. And in 8 hours, somebody drove out there and found it. In literally 8 hours. And I was like, dude, that's amazing. He's like, dude, I'll never forget that whole experience. And I was like, well, how can we involve more than one person finding this geocache? And we think that this might be a really awesome way to try that exercise. So
yeah.
So that's the idea. That's the whole thing, guys. Holy Fawn's incredible. I love this band so much. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and put this in the chat for you nerds who are uneducated. Y'all need to go listen to Holy Fawn when you have some time. Oh, Noah, Me Without You.
Yeah, they're so good. Aristotle, is that the author who wrote a novel, but it was actually a giant puzzle, and you could find like different keys, in the physical world to find like an actual cache, and nobody's figured it out? I think that's what you're talking about. It's a story, but it's also written marginalia. They're also telling a couple stories. Okay, maybe it's different, but it sounds awesome. And it sounds kind of like what we're trying to do, but like the fans get to decide what's in the marginalia.
Yeah. And this is my idea. Obviously, you're going to be the guy who makes this decision, but I think if there's some cool stories or theories in there that like you really just secure, like you really attach yourself to, it might become canon.
It could if it works. If it works with everything, then yeah, totally.
That would be super sick. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for us tonight. We're just under 3 hours with this stream. If you've been here since the beginning, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to do some quick shout-outs to everybody who is currently here. Aristotle. I know Noah's in here still. Let's see who else we got. We got Kyle in here. Thanks so much, my dude. Vax, Chris, everybody who's in here right now. Thank you so much. Huge shout-out to our new follows. We got Dark Munyon. We got LX2. We got Taniel with, like, I think 15 gifteds today. Like, that dude is just going off the handle.
You,
thank you, Taniel. We got Will Knuckles. We got Constance Melina. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. J. Postones from Tesseract gave us that delicious raid earlier. Thank you so much, my dude.
Appreciate you.
Listen to this guy just yawning over here.
I'm tired.
You're a busy guy. Thank you all so very much for the support and the love and for being here with us. I super appreciate it. Listen to Holy Fawn. Check out Kardashev. Go back and maybe listen to the albums with this context. See what they're about, Maybe you'll love it. Guide the Reg, Lizzie Vega. You got it, Aristotle. Let's send it.
And then we'll be back next week, Thursday, to talk about The Bring of Shadows.
That's true. So next week, same time, we are going to be reviewing the same process for The Bring of Shadows. And that'll be probably our last one, but we might do Iota after that as well. So come back in, check it out, and we'll see you guys then. I'm going to go ahead and start this raid. We are going to raid, it looks like, oh my gosh, she plays a harp. She's playing a harp, dude? Oh, I'm super excited.
Y'all, show her some love when we show up. Spam some happy emotes.
Let's do Cardismark.
I like Pride Unicorn.
Oh, yeah, do you?
Yeah, I like
Pride Unicorn?
Pride
All right,
Unicorn is
that's the one we're doing. Oh, I put in Vegas instead of Vega. Crap.
Raid now.
All right, hold on a second. Give me a second.
Right now.
We got a timer. All right, here we go. We're sending it.